You're listening to My Grito Podcast Network, celebrating the culture of Chicanos and Latinos one story and voice at a time. Listen to more My Grito Podcast Network shows over at mygrito.net. Connect on social, on Instagram and Facebook at My Grito, the My Grito Podcast Network.
Stephanie, thanks for being here.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Salud.
This is Screwball. It's really good. I don't know if you've seen or tasted this before, but I'll let you taste it. Go ahead.
Peanut butter, fancy.
Man, you were so anxious to drink that. You missed your 3, 2, 1.
Sorry, Mario.
This is good.
What happened?
Screwball.
It's peanut butter.
Isn't it delicious?
Yeah, it's actually, I'm really, really down with whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a bar. My friend was bartending. We were there this past week, and there was these 4 guys all tough and macho, and they're drinking like these big fruity drinks, and I'm sitting there with like that much bourbon, and they're like,
Absolutely.
"What do you?" I'm like, "Oh, what's in that?" And it's like blue, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, over here."
Most of those drinks are just like straight liqueur and sugar in there.
Sugar.
Yeah.
And that's how you get hungover.
Yeah.
Like, I drink whiskey, wine, and like beer, I guess.
Okay.
But just whiskey, mostly, and wine.
Yeah, when we asked you on the questionnaire, what's your beverage of choice?
I was like, whiskey.
She didn't put
Whiskey.
water.
Well, I'm really excited, actually. My friend just got me, for my birthday was February 12th. He got me like this smoking set.
Okay.
So I'm like super excited. So I went and ordered like the fancy ice cubes. So like we're all going to sit there and drink really fancy whiskey and then like just get drunk on really cheap whiskey.
There we go.
Yeah. Because after like the second drink, you can't. But I used to bartend and wait tables, and people would order wine or whatever, and they'd be like, "Is it really good?" And I'm like, I mean, if you can't tell the difference, then just get the $40 bottle.
Right.
Don't order a $100 bottle if you can't tell.
You're the server that everybody wants.
Well, low key, there's more markup on like a cheap bottle than there is. Yeah. So if it's like a craft of wine, like we're making more off that than we are after. Like
I was trying to say, I've Googled like wine bottles like at places, and they're literally like $10 at the store, and then in house they're like $45. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, and like okay, like if we're gonna use like Papa vodka and make you a cocktail with that, like the markup on that, it's like a $3 bottle of vodka versus like
Right.
So I'm like, buy the cheap stuff. We make more money off it.
We went to there's this Valentine's like comedy show at the stand up comedy club in Bellflower, and I was drinking I think it was called BSB by Jamie Foxx, and I think it was like $13 for a glass. I looked it up the other day, and it was like $18 to $20 for a full bottle.
Yeah, it's a ripple.
Yeah,
that's why you just have to get drunk at home first.
Right.
That's
in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's our jam too. Right. I'm getting old. I just want to like even on New Year's, I'm just like, let's just kick back and get drunk like.
At home, safe.
Or in a hotel or somewhere, because it's like amateur night.
There you go. Everybody
who hasn't drank all year decides, this is the night. This is the night, guys. I'm going to get drunk and throw up all over the place and fight with somebody,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm too old for that. Like, I've been there, done that already for like 15 years. Occasionally we still do that, but not on New Year's.
There you go.
On a Tuesday.
Stephanie, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for doing the podcast. Have you done anything like this before?
During COVID, obviously we had a transition just like anybody else. So we did a lot of live markets. So I was going live for like 6 to 8 hours, 3 days in a row. And that was really exhausting. So I like tapered it down to like 2 and then 1. And then I was really ambitious at the beginning. And I was like, this sucks. I have to like brush my hair and like put makeup on and be in front of a camera and like everybody's judging me,
Yeah. Once you found out about this being on YouTube, you're just like, damn it, I have to get ready for this thing.
I showered today for you guys.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Low key. I
appreciate that.
We didn't, so we're sorry.
That's cool. That's why she's back there.
She's far away.
Yeah. We got her on the other side of the room.
I'm planning my shower after this.
No. I work from home. So during the week, I'm like, what do you mean I got to get ready?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, I'm only in public on the weekends. You know what I mean?
That's the only time we shower. She's like Saturday, Sundays.
Yeah, that's kind of when I time it.
Shout out to Jesse JFR for connecting us.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's my homie. I love him. He's the greatest.
And he was just out of pocket. Amber was on that thread. She was reading everything. And what did he say?
I think
about...
he introduced me about the cancer. He said I have cancer, and then like he was talking about the cancer and then the dog.
He didn't even say
No.
cancer. He just said, "This is my homie Stephanie with one titty,"
Right.
and I was like, "What?"
I was like, for the record, I have two now. Yeah, because I'm a cancer patient. Well, Jesse made me. I joke because like when he does my markets, like I did a reel because you know how he can be like polarizing.
Yeah.
But like so whenever I do like reels of him, I'm like, great, I'm gonna lose followers now because it's like. Because I'm pretty progressive or whatever, and like me and him have the same sense of humor. But like, I can't for my business because I work with different people, different backgrounds, and I work with a lot of like, older conservative people too. So I kind of have to like,
of course,
unfortunately, taper it down. But like, I crack up. I'm like, great, I'm gonna get people are gonna block me because I'm putting Jesse on lives because he just can't behave.
He's a catch.
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah. He's great. But yeah, he's been vending with me for a long time. But I mean, I run the Socal Etsy Guild, and I've been doing that for we'll be 11 in June.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah. My business survived. My store got flooded. I got cancer and a pandemic, and we're still alive.
The world pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I had a personal pandemic.
Yeah.
Right. And then and then 2 weeks after I started chemo, my store got flooded.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it wasn't even my fault, and it ended up costing me like $20,000.
20 grand?
We'll put it this way: so like. It wasn't even my fault. It was the piping in the hallway, like, it got corroded, and it got, so some jerk probably, like, flushed a fucking diaper or something and plugged it up. And the force got so great that it blew through the pipe and then blew through the back of my store. And that location was, like, 6,000 feet, and it was clear through halfway, blew through the back of our wall. So just, like... them coming and do like an inspection to make sure there's not like asbestos or some like crazy bacteria that people are going to get sick. Just that alone was like $1,600.
Jeez.
And I mean, I could have not done it, but then like if someone found out we got flooded and then they try to say they got sick, then they can try to sue me. Yeah. So it was just a nightmare. And like these malls write these airtight contracts. So you're not like, their lawyers are more expensive than mine. And I had lawyers look at the contract and they're like, you can sue them and you'd probably win, but then you can never work with that company again.
Wow.
Like, so.
And it was like a building management company?
No, it was a mall.
It was the mall?
It was an actual mall, like a mall.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had a storefront, like a brick.
I still do.
Oh, you still do?
Yeah, I have a 7,200 square foot store in Mission Viejo at the mall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we've had that. We just turned 5 in October.
Wow.
So.
And what kind of things do you sell there?
So basically what it is, I run a group of like, I work with like over 1,000 different artists and crafters a year. And then like I do different markets and stuff like that. And that's like a brick and mortar. So it's kind of different. Like it's not like these handmade stores that are popping up everywhere. It's actually like a co-op. So people come in and they have their own little store within my store.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's cool.
It's basically a really expensive lemonade stand for me, but it makes me happy. And like, it's like dope to see people grow and it's awesome. So like they all have, so right now we have like about 15 permanents and then we have a bunch of like art on the wall and then like all this stuff everywhere. And then like we do pop-ups there. We do like open bars, we do live music, we do workshops. We're generally only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then like during Christmas we'll be like 3 weeks. That's cool. So it was an adventure because obviously the pandemic hit and that sucked, but we survived. And then, like, the mall worked with me on rent and stuff like that because I was like, hey, if you're not going to do something, then, like, I'm going to leave and just fuck my contract,
Right.
And they worked it out because for them, it's like a feeder store. So I think they've gotten about 12 tenants out of my store. So for them, it's like a really good way for people that are, like, looking to open a store and, like, to try it out to see if they work. It works for them, obviously, at, like, a far lower price. So, obviously I'm covering, like, the rent and the insurance and like overhead and electricity and all that stuff. And the vendors just pay me a fee. I do like a really large amount of advertising and obviously foot traffic and all that. And I manage it and then it's cool.
So where did you first get the idea for Socal Etsy?
So I'm an artist and crafter.
Guild. Okay.
And then, I've
and it's Socal Etsy Guild, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, basically like I've been an artist crafter forever. So I was an artist and crafter and I was selling and doing, so like, people like Jesse and like all those guys, like I've known them since before I was starting these events. So I basically was like, hey, I like organizing stuff. And I was doing these events and selling and like, I'd be selling art walk in downtown LA a girl in her 20s by myself, and like the coordinator would just like turn off the generator when the event was over and like take off, and I'm there by myself in the middle of the night. And I was like, these guys don't even give a shit about us. Like, they don't even care. They're just collecting our money. They're not even coming through or like asking like, how are we doing? Like, how's anything going? And I'm just like, this sucks. So I can do better. So my friend his family basically owns a block in downtown LA in Olympic and Central. And he's like, hey, why don't you come do a market here? It's being out the district. So I did my first market, and it was awful. It was really, really bad. Like, literally, there was like guys walking around with like coats and like trying to like, and like there was like taco men and like piñatas, and it was so bad. And I mean, not to say no, you know, it was hilarious. It was, you know, because you've been the piñata district, right? So it's like, right. It was like literally one of those parking lots. It's a little bit nicer now. It's just not, it's, you know, it's just not for the handmade. So I got connected to someone at Craft at the Port of LA. And then I did like 3 or 4 markets in that location. And then we switched over to Craft at Port of LA. And my first market there, I had like 90 vendors, like 15 retail trucks and like 10 food trucks. So I met the right people, like the right way. Yeah. And then from there, like I got connected to malls, and now I predominantly work with like a lot of malls and shopping centers and stuff like that. But I mean, I've worked with like, I want to say like 60 something locations in the last like 11 years.
How long were you doing like the street market thing before you actually like moved into like a space? Because sometimes people they do markets, because I come from like a food and beverage event background. Right. And sometimes that's all they do. That's their bread and butter is just events, working maybe 6 months out of the year, taking 6 months off, and then doing that route again. Like, how long were you doing street markets before you went into an actual building?
About 5 years.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, we were already like connected with malls, and I was already working in malls. So
oh, okay.
So
I see.
it was a gradual transition. So like we were already doing markets in malls, and then the Mission Viejo, like the average income is like 130,000. So it's like a nicer area. So we're doing a market in their mall, and they're like, hey, let's try putting you in a space. And we did it, and it worked. And they were like, they're really great with us, and they're like, you only have to be open Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like, but I mean, it's dope because it's like every time you come in there, so we have the permanent spots, and then we do pop-ups.
Oh, okay.
So like if you come in this week and then next week, it's going to be like the permanent vendors will be there, but like there'll be the other vendors that like rotate out. So it's really cool, and it's exciting. And we do workshops, and like we'll do free, beer and wine. My fiance will come like bartend, and like we'll bring our dog, and he'll just like kick back there, and we just give out free alcohol, and everybody loves us. Yeah. People come in, they're like, it's free. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like so confused. And I'm like,
they're like, what's the gimmick here? What's the catch? What's going on? Where are they trying to catch me in? I
mean, we can't sell it because we don't have a liquor license, but it's private property. So like you can give me, peanut butter whiskey.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's private property.
It's the loophole, remember?
That's the loophole, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, like it's like if you go for like a bride dress fitting or whatever thing, they give you champagne.
Like donation type of thing,
no, we don't
right?
even take no donations. I mean, I don't,
like it's donated.
Can we look up the loophole, please? Because I'm totally confused.
So the loophole is
we're not selling it.
Gifted.
We're not. Yeah, we're giving it away.
You're giving it away.
We're not selling it.
Okay.
So we're giving it away, and we're not preparing anything. I'm not cutting limes or lemons or doing anything like that. We're just like opening it and giving it to you.
So you're oh, okay.
Like we're not preparing anything. I'm not mixing drinks.
Right.
I'm not. We're like giving it away.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's not like even like I think makeup counters do the same thing or whatever. It's not. Or like if you go to like high-end retail, like they'll do the same thing. Like, so you're able to give it, but you just can't sell it. And obviously they have to be of legal drinking age. So like we'll card and stuff.
Of course.
But like we're not getting, 16
I wonder what the difference is. Is it just like the money transaction?
Probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like anything. Like weed's legal, but that doesn't mean you can sell it.
True.
You know what I mean? You have to have a license to sell it. You can get high. I come over and, people can get high together, but like you can't sell it to me legally.
Yeah. That's where the donation thing comes in, right?
Yeah, but we don't even do that because I don't know. That gets.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
That gets tricky.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe I would.
I mean, I've seen like Brewers Fests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where you pay an entry fee and it's like home brewed beer. And then you come in and it's like a bunch of people that have like brewed their beer at home. Like small batch.
Okay.
So I've seen things like that happen, or there's like I don't know, like for like that gets, I don't know.
That gets pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, I have a friend that has this store, and she was like, "Well, what if I like do?" And I was like, "Girl, you don't have a liquor license. The moment you start taking money for it, it's like That's a whole nother.
Yeah, the ABC wants their money.
Yeah, that's basically what
That's what it comes down to. That's what all those those licenses are for.
Yeah, taxing. Taxation. It's like I get vendors that ask me all the time. They're like, "Oh, do I need a resale permit? Do I need a business license?" And I have like a generic answer. I'm like, "You're an adult. You're responsible for running and operating your own business legally." And they're like, "Well, I don't sell it often." And I'm like, if you sell one thing to your mom, you're technically supposed to pay taxes on that. Yeah. And I was like, so that's between you and the IRS. Like, I'm not gonna ask, but like, you're asking me in a public, like in writing, to tell you that you don't need a I'm like, and then I'm like, yo, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a representative tax person. Like, I can't legally tell you what what I mean. Like, like if you're a nonprofit, like there's some loopholes, stuff like that. But like, I mean, there's like cottage industry, like different rules and stuff. But like, I'm just like, yeah, you need to like go, because they're like, well, blah blah blah. And I'm like, even like now people are taking like Venmo and Zelle for transactions and stuff, like to pay. And I'm like, but there's an electronic transaction for that money. Like they're not stupid.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're eventually going to get busted. But I mean, each to their own,
Isn't there's a, I mean, with Venmo too, right? Like they don't pay taxes on if they use Venmo or something like that?
Well, there's different types of Venmo accounts. So there's like a business account and a regular one. But like you have to like, after a certain amount of money, like you're going to get flagged. And like even Zelle, like Zelle is specifically supposed to be for like, that's why all those scammers with like that are trying to get you to come pick up the dog, they're going to ship you a dog. Yeah. They're like, Zelle me, because there's no buyer protection, because you're only supposed to be using it for personal use.
Right.
So like if you want to send your mom money, or like we go out to eat and you want to send me money, like that's what it's meant for. It's not meant for like buying $500 worth of whatever.
Yeah, or buying a car or something.
You're going to get flagged.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I wonder if a Billy's Egg Farm right here in Chino got flagged. Because they use
putting them on blast.
What?
Well, now they are.
I love the
now it's gonna.
Can you? Out. I know you don't edit, but can you edit that out?
The FBI.
I know.
On blast.
I know.
Their line was way too big.
Like,
right? Listening to the FBI. My FBI agent is just like.
That's when you like ask Siri if she's listening to you. She gives you like a 20-minute response.
Does she really?
I did it the other day, and I cut her off because it was getting too long, and I was like, I'm going to bed. Like.
Those things are getting wild. Even Alexa just like says something just like randomly, and I don't even ask her to.
We're like laying in bed, and then she'll be like, "Yes, the answer is."
Yeah.
And we're like, "What the fuck?"
But she's always listening, anyways.
That's creepy.
Like all these different tech things are always listening.
For sure.
What did I say the other day? We were coming home, and then I was like,
cheeseburgers.
Let's try it out. And I was like, cheeseburgers, fries, shakes. And I kept saying.
First thing she opened on Instagram.
It was like fries. And I was like, bastard.
Yeah, that's like Baskin Robbins. And it's going to like, I'm going to turn on my phone and an ad's going to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a trip though. Cause like I do a lot of like digital marketing, like obviously like through Facebook and Instagram. And like I was talking to friends, and they just like people that don't understand how that works, like SEO and like all that stuff. And I'm like, dude, I can tell the household income, the demographic, the location, this down to the city. Like I can tell like where, like who's looking at my ads and who's clicking on them. And that's like not even like a deep dive.
So is that like a third party type of thing that you use for that?
No, I mean, well, it's called Meta platform now, but like Facebook and Instagram, they're owned by the same company. So like, but I mean, like when you sign up for Facebook and Instagram, like they give you all that information. Like they ask you those questions, and you voluntarily tell them all that
that's under the terms and conditions, right?
Well, not even that, but like, when you have a Facebook or Instagram, you're putting what city, right? And then we all have like location enabled devices that are telling us and everything. And that's like when everyone's like worried about the chip, I'm like, yo, you gave your phone, you gave your like your face recognition and your fingerprint like willingly to your phone, like and I'm just like, low key, like if anyone wants to come and steal my bad credit, like come take it. You know?
Take my credit, please.
Maybe you'll probably make it better. Like pay my medical bills, Yeah. But like, but people trip. I'm just like, yo, the government's not that smart.
Yeah. And I don't understand. Like you made a good point. Like we give them our information regardless. Through Instagram, Facebook, any type of social media network.
Like Siri's judging us right now hard.
Oh yeah,
she's like judging us.
Absolutely.
Like when I get home, it's gonna pop up ads for peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, for reals.
Alexa in the other room, she's listening.
She's already added to your Amazon card.
She's on it.
A loofah and
Oh yeah, from the last one, huh? Jeez, those
Were
guys.
you guys a loofah?
No, from this one because we said we didn't shower.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Body
yeah,
wash and everything.
yeah. Like
And a loofah.
nose plugs.
Or stronger alcohol.
I know, that's true. Yeah, no, it works.
So the Socal Etsy Guild. So how long were you doing that before the breast cancer?
So actually March 15th will be 5 years of me having brain surgery.
Oh, okay.
So, and then June will be 6 years of me getting diagnosed. So, I mean, like my business was like 4 or 5 years old. So like
Wow.
it was like roughly like 5 years old.
What was that like?
Sucked. I don't know, like it's kind of hard to explain because when I talk to people about it, I say it so matter of fact. Like I was in the hospital because I've had 6 surgeries in the last 4 years. So this is kind of just my normal and this is my reality and this is my matter of fact. So like I remember, because I have to repeat the story so much and like I've been interviewed about it and stuff like that and like being in the hospital and like every time I see a new doctor, because I have like 8 doctors, like I'm not even exaggerating. And like just every time I have to talk to a new doctor, like my oncologist is leaving and I'll see a new oncologist on Thursday. So I'm going to have to like repeat everything. So I say it so matter of fact. And one of my RNs was like, you say it so matter of fact. And I was like, this is matter of fact. This is my matter of fact. This is just my reality. And this is what I have to deal with. And I don't know any other reality. You know what I mean? So it's like anybody that's been through a situation or has like a disability or like whatever they're going through, like that's just how you just have to deal with it. You can either accept it or not. And you can be a victim or you're not a victim. And I made a very conscious decision to just not be a victim. And like, so when I got diagnosed, it sucked. And like, when I got diagnosed, like the month before I was starting chemo, I had a huge party in my house. So if you ever want to get your friends together and, you haven't seen in a long time, just tell them all that you have cancer and they'll all come out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I did. And, so I had a big party and like 100 people showed up. My uncle and my family was like, Jesus, your friends drink a lot. Cause we were like, cause I like to recycle. So
yeah.
I wouldn't let my fiance throw out the trash. I was like, no, we need to recycle all the cans that we were throwing out. Things full of beer cans and bottles for like 3 weeks. But I mean, I had a big party and like my friend who had lost her mom to cancer, she recommended it. She said, it's kind of a good idea because like your friends will see you. And it allowed me, I think it allowed the people that love me and care about me to like see that I was okay and I was going to be okay. And then then for me to see how many people like genuinely care about me. And I'm super lucky. Like I have amazing friends and family. Like my support system is like real. Like there wasn't a shortage of people that were like willing to help me out or like if I needed rides or needed anything like that, like people were there for me. And like I was really lucky to have that. So I can't imagine like not having support group. But I also think like in those situations, like I feel like you can look at things like half full or half empty. And like, don't get me wrong, like there was some of my best friends that I've been friends with a really long time that didn't come see me or didn't call to see how I was or didn't even do anything. But I acknowledge that wasn't necessarily about me. It was maybe just how they were having a hard time dealing with it because I had very serious cancer. I had stage 4 breast cancer that spread in my brain.
You had stage 4?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was originally diagnosed with stage 3. So I have something called a BRCA1 mutation. So basically, like I got the lottery, right? So I was born with like a 65% chance of getting breast cancer and 65% chance of getting ovarian and 85% chance of getting breast cancer. I didn't know. My dad had prostate cancer, but we're Mexican, so like you don't talk about it, right? If you don't talk about it, it just didn't happen, it didn't exist, right?
Of course.
And that's how my family is. So we didn't talk about it. I don't really know anything, but people don't realize like prostate cancer and breast cancer are basically like brother and sister. So there's a genetic tie, and it didn't even become common for like men to get tested for the gene. So then whatever, I found out I had it. And then like my first oncologist, I didn't even have insurance when I had it. When I got diagnosed, I had to pay for the entire diagnosis out of pocket. Went through my savings, and it was just really crazy to see how they treated me because when I showed up and I was like, I don't have insurance. And I was like, they're like, how are you paying for this test? And I was like, I don't know, does fucking cash work?
Wow.
But they just were like, so like, they treated me so different. And like my oncologist that originally diagnosed me, he would like have the worst bedside manner ever. He was like, oh fuck, like, like literally like, you started chemo last week, like blah, blah, blah. And since I didn't have insurance, they wouldn't schedule any. So like when you get diagnosed, you have to go get like a PET scan and like, CT and MRI and all these things. I don't know what any of that is. Blood work and like certain tests get like you have to do certain tests 2 days apart and you need certain blood work done before. I didn't know. What the fuck did I know about anything? I'm not a doctor. I had never been sick a day in my life. All of a sudden, they're telling me I have cancer. And I was like, I was 33 years old. So I'm like, fuck. And so, so then like I had to go. So like, not only did I just find I have cancer, it's a Friday. So I got to get on the phone and now I got to call these places and make all these appointments myself. And I can easily see how people would just shut down and not deal with it. You know what I mean? And like, so then I got lucky. So like, luckily it was like, we were able to like do open enrollment and like, my fiance was able to add me my insurance. So like after that all happened, like I went through like a little bit of that time and then we were able to like get me into City of Hope and like, so like my brain surgeon is like head of neuro for City of Hope, top 5 in the country. So like, wow, I literally like joke, like I went from Motel 6 to the Ritz-Carlton, but it gave me like a sense of appreciation. As
far as
medical care.
Right.
And it's just all medical care is not created equal. And like, if I honestly I had a 5% chance of even being alive right now. And so like that all happened. I went through chemo and radiation, whatever. They're like, congratulations. You know, I had my mastectomy. They're like, congratulations, you know, you're cancer free. And I'm like, yay. All right, we'll see you in like, I don't know, 2 months to start radiation. I'm like, cool. So one night we go out and we party and I get fucked up. And then the next day I wake up and I'm like, damn, this fucking hangover sucks. And then 2 days later, I'm like, damn, this hangover sucks still. And 3 days later, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Started collapsing. I went in, like, so I'm like, fuck. So I went in and whatever was wrong, it was like, I actually like collapsed at Chili's. And then like the next day I had an event in San Diego and my fiance was like, I'm taking you to the hospital. I was like, no, I have an event. We got to go to the event. I don't have anyone to run it tomorrow. I got to work tomorrow. So I worked. So then it was like, I waited like probably like 4 days because she had given me like some like K-Pack or like, I forget what it's called, but like basically like antibiotics to take in case I got. So I just thought it was like sick. So I took that, waited. And so like, and then on Monday he's like, I'm going to take you to the hospital. And I was like, no, you're going to go drop off my rent payment first. Because I was like, for my store. Because I was like, I don't like whatever's going on is real, and I don't need to deal with it. So then I went in and they're like, your left pupil is not dilating. Just kidding. The cancer spread to your brain.
Oh my gosh.
So they're thinking the cancer was already in my brain, and they just didn't catch it.
And then it moved.
Well, it spread.
It spread.
Which is like me hitting the lottery again, because the chance usually like, you know, like, so the way it works is like it goes into your lymph nodes. So like lymph nodes are like taxi cabs. So then it moves like the cancer to other places. So generally it would go to like my lungs or like something nearby. Mm-hmm. But no, they were like, we're just going to go to your brain, bitch. So I went in and then they're like, your left pupil is not dilating. So I had a 2 centimeter and a 3 centimeter lesion behind my left eye. And then like, they're like, well, and what I like about City of Hope is that like, you know, you're in this situation and I don't like being told I can't do anything, or I don't like being told I'm forced to do something, you know? They give you options. So even in a situation where you feel helpless, like I still felt like, you know, like I was able to like, you know, like have a choice. So like, you don't have to have surgery if you don't want to. These are the options we give you. And I was like, well, I want to have surgery. Let's just take it out. And then, I guess my fiance's crying. I call my brothers, they're crying. I call my uncles, they're crying. And I was like, fuck, dude, I'm not telling anybody else. Because you guys are all like, there's like this meme saying, this is me telling everybody else I have cancer and like hugging them and consoling them because they,
right.
You know, like, So I'm like, oh my God, I'm not telling anybody else. So I told my employees that needed to know to run my business like that weekend. I was like, by the way, and I didn't tell anybody else. And then I had brain surgery on Friday. And then on Saturday morning, I called my friends and told them. So, you know, the 15th. So 17th was St. Patrick's Day. So 2 days after, like my friends that I grew up with, you know, we're Mexican. So of course they show up like 10 minutes before fucking visiting hours are over. And they all showed up with like their big gulps filled with liquor and beer. And they just came and partied in my room for like a couple hours. And the nurses were cool.
Wow.
So I was like, because they're like, what do you mean you had a fucking, you had a fucking brain tumor? You didn't tell us? And I was like, I mean, I just couldn't deal with like the phone calls of telling people like, I called everybody afterwards, like, because it's easier to be like, oh, by the way, I had a brain tumor, but it's out and I'm alive, rather than because I just couldn't handle like telling people like and dealing with them, trying to be strong for them. So I was like, I'm just not gonna tell anybody till like after I have brain surgery.
5% is a low percentage.
Yeah, extremely. But I never asked. I found out afterwards. I looked it up afterward.
Oh, you looked it up after?
I didn't find out during. I knew just by the way my doctors were talking to me and like the way, like the type of chemo I was on and me having the genetic mutation. And like, so with younger people, they give us actually like harder like chemo. So, I mean, I lost all my hair. You lose all your hair. So like, you don't even realize like that you need your eyelashes and your nose hair actually like serve a purpose.
Really?
Yeah. It keeps from dirt getting in.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
I know that about your eyelashes.
Yeah,
but...
and your nose too, from like.
Oh really?
Like from dirt or like weird stuff crawling in there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, I was a mess. So like, and it was funny because I was just gangster through it. Like I still worked. And my centers that I worked, the locations, because I was in contract. So like, I told them what's going on. And they were really cool with me. They're like, if you need to put a pause in your contract, go through what you need to do through, and we'll do that afterwards. And I was like, no, I've busted my ass to have my business make it to the 5-year mark. Most businesses don't even make it that long. My vendors love me, but if I pause in doing these events, they're going to find somewhere else to sell because they have to. It's no offense to me or, lack of support, but they got to find somewhere else. So then I'm going to come back and I'm going to lose everything I worked for. So I was like, no, I just kept doing it. I have a really good group of people that work for me and help me out. And, we made it through. And I mean, like, I was literally like, there's a picture of me where like I'm about to go into like surgery for mastectomy, and like I have a notebook and my laptop on the bed. And like my friend's like, please tell me you're not fucking working before I get into surgery. And I was like, yeah. But I stayed extremely active. So like it was funny because I asked my doctor, I was like, can I have like a handicap pass? And she's like, why? You're not going to get better parking at the hospital. I was like, oh no, this is for Disneyland and Dodger Stadium. And like I was a season ticket holder, so like, and I had season passes, so like we still went to Disneyland. We still went to, we did everything. And I would like, when I was really bad, like I would just walk for as long as I could and then dump me in a wheelchair. And my fiance was working for Disney at the time, so like we got free wheelchair rentals, so it was like chill. But and I mean, it was just, I was still living my life the best way I could. And there's something called chemo brain, where like, because like the way it makes like chemo is like the day I'd have it, like you have like, it's like I had like 2 or 3 shots. Like I wasn't drunk, but I was like fuzzy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so like what happens is like people, like if you're not, your brain's a muscle. So if you're not using your brain, you're going to like, it's going to slow down. So people get chemo brain and they're like, slow down. And I just stayed extremely active. And my doctors are just like, that's probably why you're still here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think that you keeping your brain active kind of help with that? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I am a little, it's hard to, because you've never met me before, but I'm slower than I was before, which is pretty crazy. So I noticed like myself being different, and it probably took me like within this last year to
when you say slow, what do you mean? I mean,
I'm at like 200% right now. I used to be like 300%.
Oh.
And I don't drink coffee.
Oh, okay.
I wake up like this. It's pretty fucking scary. I sleep like 4 hours.
So this is uncaffeinated now.
This is uncaffeinated.
This is Stephanie
and
uncaffeinated.
This is slightly sedated. Yeah. I've had this much.
Slightly.
Yeah. It's pretty scary. One time I was in Vegas with girlfriends, and I wasn't drinking that week. And we were there for a pool tournament because I play pool. For a pool tournament, and my girlfriend goes.
Do you really? That's cool.
That's how me and my fiance met.
Really?
He's really good. I'm like a really good shitty player.
Really good shitty player.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably beat me.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm not like competitive. Like he's like, yes. Like he can.
She's like, by your stature and the way you look and the way you walk.
I'm sorry. I mean, no, it'd be really close. No, but like my fiance is like good. Like he can like
That's
do
so
fun.
Cool.
Like he can make the ball do all kinds of weird.
Really?
Things. Yeah, I can't
awesome.
do that. I can like go straight and like do like. But I'm better than like the average person that just like plays at a pool hall.
That is awesome.
That's how we met. Yeah. So we were there for the tournament, and then my girlfriend, I was staying there with 2 of my friends, and like she goes, "So what do you take?" And I was like, "Huh?" She's like, "What do you take?" And I was like, "I don't do drugs." And she's like, "No, I know, but like, what do you like do?" And I was like, "I don't know, baby, just make me this way."
I was made like this.
I was made like this.
Who has a song like that? I was made like this.
I was made this way.
Lady Gaga?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny. But like, I mean, and I like my fiance cracks up because like we'll be public places and I'll just like randomly start talking to people. I've kind of like kicked back a little bit, but like within 5 minutes of meeting, I was like, "Do you want to see my boob?" Because I'm like, I've been through cancer. Like, it's really neat. Like, they've done all this crazy stuff to it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they put a piece in my back and they swung it around.
What?
Yeah, because they didn't know about the brain tumor. So what they did is they took one, and I know it's like crazy. So like I have a Franken tip. So like,
well, repeat that one more time for me.
Frank and tit.
Frank and tit. Okay.
Yeah. I told my plastic
You
surgeon.
need to TM that. You need to trademark
I know,
that.
I'm going to. I told my plastic surgeon that, and he was like, that really wasn't the look I was going for, but okay.
He just went back to medical school.
He's like, that's not really a compliment. And I was like, yeah. So they were supposed to do the reconstruction like a year later. Mm-hmm. But what ended up happening is when they found out I had the brain tumor, they were like, well, now we need to wait 2 years to your scans. And then your scans are clear, and then COVID hit, so they weren't doing any elective surgeries and reconstructions.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I ended up having to wait almost 3 years. So they had done like a skin sparing, which is like they leave the sac. So basically what happened is like that sac shriveled up, and I just had this like weird looking elbow. So I had like one large breast and then like an elbow. So like I have like back problems because I was like this. So they like had to go in. So like the first part of my reconstruction was a 9.5-hour surgery. So I have a scar from my armpit to like my spine, and they like cut that out and like swung it around.
Oh, I see.
And so like it's an anchor. So it's a Frankentit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like Frankenstein, but like a boob. But the good news is I'm normal again, because it was like, it didn't bother me, but like people would stare sometimes, and they would like one time I was at the spa, and I didn't have any problem. I wear a bathing suit and I'm wearing like a bikini top and shorts. I'm at the spa, and this lady's like, oh, your boob's coming out. And I was like, huh? And I go and look, and I was like, oh, no, it's fine. I only have one. And I think it didn't register what I said.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, but it's coming out. And I was like, no, I only have one. And then she tells me, no, but sweetie, your boob's coming out. Because she just saw one breast and not anything on the other side. So she thought like,
She thought it was out.
yeah, she thought like I was going to do nippage or something. And I'm just like, and I was like, look, I have breast cancer. I only have one breast. And she goes, oh, I was like, but I appreciate you trying to be Captain Save-A-Tit. Like, and she was like, and me and my friend just started laughing because I'm like, but people are, she didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But it was just, so now, like, and I told my plastic surgeon, it's not a perfect situation. Like, I'm not normal looking, but like, at the end of the day, it's that normalcy. And just like, people take that for granted. Like, like it's taken me 5 years to make my hair this long. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like as long as it was before. And like losing your breasts or like losing like these things. And, like a couple of my friends, and I brushed my hair today and painted my face for you guys. But like normally, yeah. And I showered, like I said.
Yeah, thank you.
But normally I'm like in a ponytail, like leggings, like really they kick back. And one of my girlfriends was like, well, why are you even going to do the reconstruction? Like just, it's better if you just don't do it and like leave it alone. Because my doctor was kind of like, I was like, look, you wear makeup every day before you leave the house. And she's like, so? I was like, you won't leave the house without makeup. And you're telling me to never have breasts again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never wore a wig. I got real lucky. When my parents dropped me, they must have dropped me on my ass, not on my head, because my head's like really like round and nice. So I'd be in the hospital and people like, you have a really nice head. And I'm like, thanks. I know. But like, it was just, you got to be able to laugh about it. And if you can't, and like, I make really inappropriate jokes, and like,
I've noticed that about you.
Well,
we're 37 minutes in, and you have a very positive outlook on your situations.
Well, like, this is what I look at it. Like, it's scientifically proven that laughter and happiness and people that are happy live longer than sad people. So the way I looked at it was like, being sad about my situation has zero benefits. Like, if I'm sad and I die tomorrow, then I wasted my last time I had feeling sorry for myself and being sad. Yeah. And then like, but if I'm positive and I live longer and I have a better time, like there was just no, like I try to be rational. Like I try to be about the percentages, about the numbers, and like when I make decisions or even in business or life or whatever. And it just made no sense to like feel sorry for myself.
Yeah.
Like I was still out there. I had a surgery last. I'm a huge Dodger fan. I have my gang member tattoo up here. My LA fan. We're big Dodger fans. I had a surgery a week before opening day last year, and we went.
Wow.
Well, actually, it wasn't a week. I think it was like 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and my surgery was outpatient, so I had it, and I went home. And then, and he's like, "What's outpatient?" I was like, "So, like," he's like, "Yeah, you'll be fine." I was like, "So how long do I need to stay in bed?" He's telling me, and I'm like, "So opening day's on Friday." Mm-hmm. Will I be able to go? And he's just
he's like, are you serious right now?
Do you ever Because I'm just thinking of like, I always play this scenario, and I've told like Gil before, because you know, like you have this good outlook on what your situation is, right? And I think so sometimes it's like it is what it is, right? And I always think of because I've gotten it before, like told to me, like, you know, I remember one time I was at hot yoga, and this lady comes up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, can I just talk to you?" And I'm like, "Sure," you know. And she's like, "I just want to say that what you do is amazing, and I promise I'll never complain ever again." And I was like, okay, like, gee, thanks, you know? And I was like, are you complimenting me, or are you using my situation to make yourself feel better? You know what I mean?
That one.
And I always think of that, but I was like, okay, I think her intent was to be nice, right? But do you ever get people that tell you that, like, oh, like you're such an inspiration, and like, how do you feel? Do you feel that you are, or you just feel like I'm just living my life and I'm doing what I do?
I mean, both. Yeah. I definitely didn't like being treated like a victim. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, like, so literally after I had my 9.5, because my doctors already knew, like when COVID happened, obviously I had to compromise my immune system, and I was like, I'm going to work. So what can I do to be safe when I'm working? Not I'm going to stay home. Like, I'm going to do these things. Like, and my doctors knew, like, because originally when they were doing the reconstruction, they were going to do the one where they take your stomach and they put it in your chest. But that one's like literally your entire torso.
Wow. And
you're like not moving for like weeks. And my doctors were like, we're not, after they got to know me better, they're like, we're not doing that to you, because there's no way in fuck that you're not going to leave. Like, you know, even after I had a 9.5-hour surgery, I had my employees running my event. We do a weekly event at the Outlets at Orange. And I was like, you know, Mom, I'm feeling better. We should go eat somewhere. She's like, okay, where do you want to eat? And I was like, you know, the Outlets at Orange. So I made my mom's like, fuck. So I made my mom drive me down there, and I would just like walk and then sit. And it's just listening to your body and your limitations and like not lifting. So like I hired somebody to come and help me to like literally just make sure I didn't lift anything.
Yeah.
Like I had my rental guys, but literally just to follow me around. But like even with my plastic surgeon, like when I had my first methysectomy, the first part of the reconstruction, because it ended up being a 3 surgeries, this whole process. I was like, so like, can I like bump the tables to move them? And she's like, huh? And I was like, yeah. I have to work like the week after. So like, can I just like, what can I do to move them? And she's just like, no. And I was like, okay, I'm still going to go to work. And she's like, don't they give you sick time? And I was like, I'm an entrepreneur. What's that?
Right. Sick time. What does that mean?
No. Yeah. Well, I got pissed because
vacation. What is that?
I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I heard people get paid to stay home.
Really?
I know. I've never been there. My fiance asks me questions about like his benefits, and I was like, yo, I've never had a real job. I have no idea. Talk to my mom. I don't have a real job. I'm working right now.
Yeah, you are.
I mean,
you're having a good time. I'm working too. Amber's working.
We're all working.
We're all working here.
We're having some peanut butter whiskey. We're kicking back and telling stories, like, you know. And I've had friends tell me, like, that's like one of my girlfriends. She's just can't get her head around it. She's like, that's just so weird that you work, you know, Saturday and Sunday. And I was like, you know, that's so weird that you work 5 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, like it's. I think because before I had my business, I was bartending and waiting tables. So I've been doing that since I was 16. So I was just always used to like.
Yeah, usually when you're in hospitality, it's always weekends, holidays, nights, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
So you're used to it.
Yeah, and it doesn't bother me.
Doesn't faze you?
No, I mean, I posted a picture one time, like, and it was a bunch of people I work with, and we'd all, you know, during the summer, we do like beach trips, go like on a Monday or Tuesday or something. And like, I posted a picture, and one of my friends goes, oh, must be nice to go to the beach on a Tuesday. And I responded, must be nice to go to the beach on a Saturday.
Right. Honestly, I'd rather go to the beach on a Monday than on like a Friday or a Saturday. It's just, it's so overcrowded during that time.
I agree. Like, crowds are just like, I don't want to go to Disneyland on a Saturday. Like, there's people.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to work with people for a living. Like, I don't. I'm like, what do you mean? There's a fucking 15-minute wait.
But I think even like when you work for yourself, like I work for my family, so I get to do my own schedule and things like that. And I'm like you, like I've never had like a corporate job or anything like that. I always, but I think then you realize that like Monday through Sunday is just like this like social construct. Like
I think
every day is just like every day. Sometimes we're like, what day is it today? And we're like, I don't know, it's Wednesday, and we're doing an activity somewhere, and then we'll work on a Sunday, or you know, and it's just, I think it's this like social construct of like only Monday through Friday. It's like this. Like,
Yeah, definitely. Like if you definitely nailed it on the head. Like the Monday through Friday 40-hour work week. Like it's not good for you.
Mm-mm.
Most countries don't do that. And, and we just have like such a huge stress rate and suicide rate and all this stuff. And people are going crazy. And I'm just like, I'm like that person that's like, yo, quit your job and like go do something you love because you spend the majority of your life working. Like,
The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more. You do. You do the math. It's like more than half. I don't know. Maybe we can look that up, but it's like more than half of your life. I'm guessing. I'm assuming here.
That sounds
right.
That sounds like, yeah, probably even more. No, I don't know. It sucks. Like it depends. Like she's Googling.
Pull it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my fiance when he was working for Disney, he was miserable. And I can't hate on Disney, like their insurance saved my life, so like whatever. But he was miserable, and I just said, go do something you love that's going to make you happy, because he was like not happy, and I was like, go do something you like. And he has his, now he's super happy with what he's doing. And
90,000 hours. The average person will spend 90,000 hours of work over a lifetime.
The average American.
Okay,
that's key too.
American, right?
Because like in France, they like go home and have a 2-hour lunch and like go make love to their wife and go to sleep for an hour and then come back to work. That's why they live longer, and they drink wine. I know.
And they start, I think, what is it, the Germans that they start like drinking at like 12 or something like that?
They do that in Mexico too, no? We do that at my house sometimes. I went to the spa last week and I had pool league at 7:30, and I came home. I was drunk by 6 and came home and took a nap and just never got up again.
So during your chemo treatments, did you do any cannabis or anything like that?
I have a funny story. So yeah, I did CBD.
Okay.
And have you heard of RSO, Rick Simpson oil?
Mm-mm.
So Rick Simpson was like one of the first like if you look him up, it's a pretty interesting story. So he was like one of the first people to like.
Can you look him up? Rick Simpson?
Rick Simpson oil, yeah. So he was basically wax. Like he does the concentrated THC.
Oh, okay.
So he was like the first person to like advocate like that, there's THC has medical benefits. And needless to say, he kept getting arrested and stuff because this was like in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a trip. So I was taking that when I was going through chemo, and I was on all these drugs, right? So I'm on like all these anti-nauseas and steroids and all these different things, right?
Yeah.
And so I was taking it and chemo, and so you figure my receptors were probably like dim, right? And so I was like, it would basically just give me a good night's sleep. I would take it and I'd fall asleep within 15 minutes and wake up 10 hours later. So I have a lot of inflammation still from like the radiation stuff. So I was like, okay, I was like researching ways to like get rid of my inflammation. So I was like, I'm going to take the RSO that I was taking when I was going through chemo. So and you only take, I don't smoke weed. So for me, like I have no tolerance, right? So you take like a rice grain and a little wax. I mean, I know people that like put it on top of a joint and smoke.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I mean, like I just can't, I would not be able to function. Yeah, that's it. It's like a little syringe and wax. And yeah, it's a trip. So I take a little rice grain, I put it under my tongue. I take it like it's
that small?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, like I said, I have no tolerance.
Yeah.
So I'm off chemo. I'm, whatever. I'm back to normal now. And I take a little rice grain. I was high for like, I took it like at 6 p.m. the night before. I woke up the next day at like noon. And I was still fucking high. And
Those are the best.
No, I don't like being high. It was bad. I even like went and took a shot because I was like, I just want to be something else.
Oh my gosh.
And I was
That's
like,
how you know when you're like really high. We're like, dang, I need a drink. I need a drink to put me at baseline, please.
Right, like, and so I called my fiance and I had like shit to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I gotta like drive places. I'm driving like 55 on the freeway.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh my God, I was so, and it wasn't,
But it was CBD?
No, RSO is concentrated THC.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that's not CBD. That's pure THC.
Whoa.
That's concentrated, yeah.
And it was like a little
Yeah,
rice
so it's
cream.
like a syringe and it's like wax and you just put a little bit.
We need to order some. Alexa, are you listening to
put it
this?
on the
Put it on my wish list,
on
please.
an Amazon cart.
Jeez. Wow. Oh, look at they have like little capsules too.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's Rick Simpson.
Look at Mr. Rickson. Look at how
He's so happy.
look at how happy he is.
He's so happy.
He's the cutest, adorable thing ever.
He's like, I'm high as fuck. Helping one cancer patient at a time. But I mean, like, I have an aunt who's going through, and she's doing CBD and it helps her. And like, I asked my doctor, because I have asthma, and I said, I asked my oncologist, I was like, well, what are your opinions about it? And she told me, she's like, well, you have asthma, and I was already prone to getting lung infections. So she's like, in her opinion, as an oncologist, and I get it because she's like someone of authority. So like if she tells someone to get high, they're going to get high. So like she was just like, in her honest opinion, she felt that there wasn't enough research for her to tell people to do it.
Oh, okay.
But she wasn't going to tell me not to do it. She just told me not to smoke it because of my lung situation.
Gotcha.
But-
so she told you not to do it without.
No, not to
telling
smoke
you.
it.
Not to
She
smoke
told me
it.
to eat it.
Oh,
She
okay.
told me to eat it or take like oil or what capsules, or she told me just take it. She's like, yeah, take it if you want. Because she's like, I've heard some people say, she's like, I've heard benefits both ways. And she's like, so I mean, take it, but she just told me not to smoke it,
Oh,
which is
okay.
fine because I don't like the act of smoking. So
Yeah.
because I got fucked up lungs, so like it's just. But yeah, I mean, some people.
Rice grain. Dang.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I
I
mean,
gotta try it.
I've heard people take a lot more than that, like
Yeah?
that have higher tolerances. But for me, like I did a rice cream and I was like fucking high for like 36 hours. I was just sitting there. I was like, I just want to be sober. And I couldn't even fall back asleep. It was so funny.
So, how did you get into playing pool?
I used to bartend. So the guys, I worked at dive bars, and the guys at the dive bar were like, hey, do you want to join our team? And I said yes. And then I started playing. And then, I've been playing in a league for like 12 years.
Oh, you're in a league?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fun. It's, me and my girlfriend call it like it's like designated friend time.
Oh, okay.
So your life gets crazy, but it's like a designated time once a week that I'm going to go hang out with my friends.
And you're doing something like that's pretty
Competitive.
cool, competitive.
Yeah.
With friends.
Yeah. Most of them. Not
Most of
everybody.
them.
I don't like all of them. I mean, sometimes you're playing people and you just want to kick them.
With acquaintances.
Yeah, I have a lot of acquaintances. Some of them I like more than others. But yeah, and that's how me and my fiance met. And, we've been together for almost 11, no, 10,
Wow.
I don't know, 10 years, something like that.
Congrats.
Yeah, we haven't killed each other yet.
That's a
Very impressive.
milestone.
Yeah. He still opens the door for me. Sometimes he might slam it on my leg after, but
There we go.
I mean, he's a good guy. So like, yeah. But I mean, I joke because we're both like hella competitive, so we can't even play on the same team together.
So you guys have been playing for that long?
I've been playing for a little bit long. Well, he's been playing pool since he was like 16.
Oh, okay.
So he's been playing pool like far longer than I have, but I've been playing in a league longer than he has.
Oh,
so he's
okay.
like one of those guys that like hangs out the pool hall with a stick and Color of Money or something, and like wants to hustle you and steal your money.
Color of Money, is that a movie?
Yeah.
I'm missing that reference.
Yeah, with Tom Cruise and what's his name? Paul Newman.
Does he make it seem like he doesn't know how to play, and then he's like,
Yeah.
the best one on there?
That's how he
Yeah.
hustles people.
Uh-huh. There's a really good line from there. Forrest Whitaker's in it, and he goes, so Forrest Whitaker hustles Paul Newman, and then afterwards, when he takes his money, he's taking his money, and he goes, tell me something. Do you think I need to lose some weight? And it's like a weight. It's a reference like to handicapping. Like weight is like handicap.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, do you think I need to lose some weight? And he's a big guy, and it's like basically like him saying "fuck you,"
What's
like
the movie called?
Color Money.
Color Money?
We
Yeah.
have to put that on the movie list.
Yeah.
We have a movie list.
We have a running movie list.
It's a good movie because Paul Newman was actually, because there's a movie called The Hustler with Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason.
Color of Money?
Yeah, that's yeah, right there. And then there was a movie called The Hustler, and that was with Jackie Gleason and Paul Newman. And so that was before CGI. So like they legit had to like be they like learn, like Paul Newman was a very, very good pool player, and Tom Cruise even got really good.
Oh, that's cool.
And when I say good, I mean like very, very good.
Oh, yeah, I see everything. Yeah, we got to...
But look at those glasses. Aren't that pimp right there?
You gotta watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My fiance bought a pair of those just to look cool.
Just to look cool?
Just to look cool like Paul Newman.
Have you guys done any like competitions or anything like that? Have you
Yeah.
won any? Yeah.
We play, we're like, I mean, we love dive bars. Like I could win the lottery tomorrow and I'm just like, I just want cheap alcohol, cheap women, like cheap drinks, you know, just like a good time. And so we go up and play on like a lot of little tournaments or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Like I said, he's good. I'm like, okay. No, so like he'll win, but like we play in an amateur convention. Like we go into Vegas once a year and play like in the amateur conventions.
Oh,
so you're handicapped. So you're playing against people that suck as much as like I'm playing against other sucky players. So
but compared to an average person, you're very good.
Well, it's different. So like when you go to a regular bar and you're playing pool, you're playing bar rules. So like we're playing by like different rules with like safeties and strategy and stuff like that.
So what's the difference between the different rules? Strategy.
Yeah, and safety.
Which is
so like hooking somebody. So like for example, like okay, like if you're solids.
I'm about to learn something right now.
Okay, so if you're like solids and you don't hit a solid and that solid doesn't contact a rail, then it's ball in hand. So I could pick up the ball and put it anywhere on the table.
Oh, okay. So it's like you scratching a ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's like that. So
if you're a solid, you have to hit
solid.
A solid.
You have to make contact with a solid, and then the object ball has to hit a rail after,
oh.
or the cue ball. And if nothing hits, then it's ball in hand, and then you can pick the. So like if I was playing you and we're playing by those rules, just that rule is going to change how we're going to play because I'm going to try to hook you so you can't hit your ball, and then I can get ball in hand and put it on the table, and then hopefully like run out or something if I'm playing good that day. Sometimes I shoot damn good. Sometimes I shoot like, oh my God, embarrassing. Like I won like the best player for the shitty players. There's like the shitty players and then there's like the good players. So there's
like the shitty players and then the less shitty players.
No. There's the shitty players and there's like the good people. So like I won like the best shitty player for that in my division. Okay. So I went to the tournament to play all the other like good shitty players, and I like it was embarrassing. I was just like, I'm gonna go home and cry right now.
Are you one of those players that you're better when you're drinking or when you're not?
Yeah, if it's like a happy medium. Happy medium? Like buzzed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it depends. Like, I get nervous. Like, if it's like a serious, like, we're playing for money or like a competition, like a.
How much of it is luck versus like, skill?
Both. I mean, for the better players, it's more skill. And for the shitty players, it's a lot of luck. Because like, if I'm playing a shitty player and like, they don't make their shot and they, by luck, hook me to where I can't hit my ball, that's by no means skill. That's complete luck.
Yeah.
But like if two higher end players are playing, then like there's more like, that's not going to happen as much.
And then also the rules have to do a lot with it, like the type of rules you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's like bowling leagues.
I don't bowl.
I don't either.
I suck at bowling. I suck at pool.
What do you do good? I'm just kidding.
It's like nothing.
No, absolutely zero.
You have a good podcast.
Thank you. I drink whiskey. I peanut butter whiskey.
That's
good.
You're setting the bar really high. Out of all the podcasts I've done, this is the best one I've ever been on.
Thank you.
This is the best shitty one.
This is also the only podcast I've ever been on.
Out of all the shitty podcasts, this is the best shitty one. That's my favorite.
Ouch.
I'm kidding. I like that analogy.
I'm going to use that now.
Out of all the shitty podcasts, this is the best shitty podcast. I tell people, I'm a really good shitty player.
So tell me about your dog, dude. Your dog's like a bomb sniffing dog at the airport? Yeah, that's crazy.
My dog saves lives. He's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, he's pretty dope. Yeah, he's
so does your dog go to work?
Yeah, they're at work right now. My fiance is his handler.
Oh my God.
So yeah, my fiance is a retired police officer. And then when he was not liking Disney, he looked into it and he'd always, he likes dogs and he has a background. He used to work at the border, so he decided to go into this field and came with a free dog. Wow. So his name is Jojo and he's fucking dope.
Can we pull up a picture of Jojo? You have him on your Instagram, right?
Oh yeah. I think my Instagram is full of Jojo and like, I don't know, Jojo and food, I think.
So
little baby.
There he is.
Oh, he's so handsome. He's so sweet. I love his face. He's very fucking spoiled.
So he's a bomb?
Yeah, he works for bombs.
Wow.
Oh, that one's hilarious.
Yeah, I asked you about when you were coming in and you were talking about those dogs outside. And I asked you, I was like, "Oh, you have a dog?" And you're like, "Yeah, I have a." Did you say?
Dog?
No, she was like, "I have a bomb dog," and I was like, "Oh, what?"
Oh yeah, I heard a bomb dog too.
I was like, "What? Hold on,
You're
wait."
like, yeah, your dog is the bomb.
Yeah, he legit goes to work. He has a job. Look at little baby. I love him so much.
Has he ever detected a bomb?
So the way it works is like every shift he gets calibrated, and so they like have to like. So my fiance has like odors. So like it's like anyone. Dogs have bad days. Like people have bad days. And there he is. That's my fiance. Look at little baby. He has a birthday party, and we register him at Target. You guys are invited if you want to come.
Put the link down at the show description.
I know. So when you guys are like, "What do you want to plug?" and I was like, "Well, JoJo's birthday link."
You're like, my dog needs gifts.
Target.com/registry/JoJo's birthday. Yeah, he's fucking spoiled. His last birthday, we got him a bomb cake.
Oh,
It was a
That's
bomb.
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty much Dodgers, food, alcohol, and my dog. And food.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love my baby.
so how long has JoJo been doing?
Since he was born.
It?
So
Since he was born?
yeah, so they're breeded for it. So they're picked up and then they're literally trained from birth. So they go attack school first, and most dogs can't do attack because like there's no margin of error for attack because someone can die. And then they either go drugs or bombs. And very briefly they had COVID dogs, but that didn't last.
They have COVID dogs?
No one's really like originally like remember how Florida opened first and they're having like sporting events like Florida opened first,
Right.
So like Florida I think was using them for a brief period of time or something. I don't know anybody else, but they didn't last. So
It can detect, right? COVID.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, we were laughing because we had a friend that was kind of slutty, and they had a COVID dog come in, and he like sniffed him, and I was like, he's either sniffing COVID or chlamydia, like or not. So one or the other. But yeah, no, he's fucking dope. Like he doesn't bark, he doesn't aggress. Like even when we're in public and other dogs snap at him, like he's just fucking dope. He's hyper as fuck, so he's like a German Shepherd if you gave them a lot of crack.
Okay.
So they're not that, and it's kind of sad because like. People should do, dogs have breeds and breeds have traits, and like people don't do research about the kind of dogs they're getting. So like the Belgians were in like that dog movie with Channing Tatum, and then Halle Berry's dogs were Belgians too in the last John Wick movie. So people see these dogs, or like if you YouTube like Belgians, you're gonna see these. Like JoJo can search. She's certified.
So what type of dog is he?
Belgian
He's a
Malinois.
Belgian.
Malinois.
Say that again?
Belgian Malinois.
Malinois?
Yeah. So he basically is a skinny, small German Shepherd with less shaggy hair. But German Shepherds are prone to hip dysplasia, so they're getting away from using them because JoJo is.
And what's hip dysplasia?
Like hip problems.
Okay.
Like so like JoJo can search. Yeah, look at little babies right there, so handsome.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're certified to search. He's certified to search up to 10 feet, but they can jump as high as 15 feet. Wow. So but they're hyper as fuck. Mm-hmm. They're meant to work. So people get these dogs and they don't do the research, and then they're pissed off because of the dogs jacking up their backyard or chewing up their couches, and it's not the dog's fault. It's your fault for not like doing.
It's just that's
the kind of dog.
breed.
That's the breed. And like when people ask me like, "Oh, go to the next one," like go down one more. Right
This
there.
one?
Yeah, they can climb up walls. It's fucking nuts.
Oh.
Keep talking.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
That's got to be like more than 10 feet.
yeah, they can jump up to 15.
15 feet?
Yeah, but he's also jumping off
Oh,
someone's
okay,
back,
yeah, I
so he's
see him.
propelling a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and he pushes them up.
Yeah.
But
But I don't know why you'd
Damn.
want your dog to do that because he's going to mess up his body. But that's why they stopped using Germans because so Belgians are smaller and they're just more agile.
mhm.
But yeah, my dog's the fucking shit.
So how do they? I'm like, I don't know if this is a question you want to answer, but how do they train? Like yours just does right for bombs. So obviously, like it sniffs like the powder, right?
Right.
But I mean, for like drug dogs, is it true what they say? Like they give them some.
I don't know because he doesn't do drugs, so I can't tell you exactly.
Yeah.
But what they do with bombs, I'm assuming it'd be the same with drugs, is they just give him like a cotton ball of it. So it's not like my husband's not walking around with like a can, like a big bomb, and he's
Right.
walking around with like small components. So the dog, like literally, some of them can train with just a cotton ball with a smell, and the dog can catch that.
Wow.
So and you hide it, and then you alert them, but they can find it like. But it's so they're trained to do like all the different types of like components or whatever. It's fucking dope. I love my dog.
Imagine the
I could just watch this all day.
Yeah, imagine the first type of dog like this, like being like a 100% pure Belgian Malinois. You know what I mean? Like, because you know how like dogs they change over time, like through generations. I can't imagine like the number one, like the Adam and Eve of this type of dog.
They're just, but my dog's like, he's hyper. So like low key, like when we travel ever with him, like he's been to New Orleans, he's been to Puerto Rico a bunch of times. He goes to Vegas a lot. Like, you know, he goes everywhere with us. Like he's in hotels and, you know, we have to just make sure like if we're gonna be in Vegas, like we have to like go, I have to take him in the morning for like an hour walk, or like I'll go sit downstairs in the sports book with him or something.
Yeah. What's JoJo's day like?
JoJo's day is he gets up, he takes a good poop, maybe pees on some things, inspects the property, and then goes to work.
There you go.
And they work anywhere from, you know, like it's anywhere from a 6 to 10 hour day. Wow. So he legit, I mean, he's meant, these dogs are meant to work. And he comes home and he still wants to play.
Do you guys get 2 paychecks? One for the dog, one for your husband? Or is it joint? I don't know why.
Well, JoJo gets a per diem.
Oh, okay.
But JoJo is part of the Tennis Ball of the Month Club. Oh. And he's also he gets the deluxe bark box. And yes, so he's pretty fucking spoiled. But like at his birthday party when we register him, like people go to the registry and buy him gifts.
When I'm reincarnated, I want to be a bomb dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Amber.
Okay. Let me make that happen for you.
Please.
Google it.
How do
I reincarnate my partner into a dog?
That is so fucking cool.
I know. And he's living his, and like, it's so cute because like he just looks happy. Like we were just in Puerto Rico and the dog's like sitting on a beach in Puerto Rico, like just fucking chilling and just living his best life. You know, like the other day we were in Vegas with him and we went down to this like fancy 6-course wine dinner or whatever. And we had like Kobe and like, I don't know, like 70-day aged beef or some shit. And we got wasted. So we went back up and I forgot to put the food in the fucking refrigerator. So I'm like, damn it. So JoJo had like Kobe and like 70-day-old aged beef for breakfast. His little pinky was up and I'm just like,
pinky was up.
No, he's, dude.
His red robe and
he's, you know.
He grew a swirly mustache.
Yeah, he's like this. Like, you know, we don't even like to give him tap water.
Wow.
Bottle water. He's fancy.
Damn.
Yeah, he's very, very fancy.
Finesse.
Yeah, but he like, you know, like he gets like organic chicken jerky. Like I'll give him like a biscuit or something and he'll like put it in his mouth. He'll throw it on the floor. He'll look at me, look at the treat, look at me, and then sit and then like put his paw on the treat like that. And he's kind of like, bitch, where's the good stuff? Like,
is there a certain diet that you have to follow for dogs?
I mean, we just don't give him, you just want to give him like a good, you don't want to give him crap. Right. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like sometimes we get drunk and he eats french fries. But like, I mean, you know, we try to limit it. And, you know, like he's on good, he likes a lot of salmon and like sweet potato. And he's very into meat.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good. So he doesn't like the, you know, like the biscuit treats. He's not really into those.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I feel bad because like sometimes we'll go with him to places like, you know, like bars or whatever. They'll have like dog treats and they'll give him a treat. And like he does that whole thing to them that I just told you. And I'm just like, JoJo, stop being an asshole. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
How do you guys take him everywhere? Is he like registered like a service dog?
Yeah, he's a federal working dog.
Oh, that's right.
Dang, federal working dog.
JoJo's got a passport. He's got TSA clearance.
Wow.
So like, yeah, when we get on the plane, like him and my fiance go through like the fancy line, and I'm like waiting with the regular people, just because I've been too lazy to get the TSA. Every time because we go to Puerto Rico every January for like 2-3 weeks, and every time I'm like, I'm gonna get it, and it comes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Oops. So they get to go through the fancy line and JoJo goes. And then, but I mean, we put him on a plane and we just give him like half a Benadryl, like for the first half of the flight and then half a Benadryl for the other half.
So where do dogs go? Like in the...
Our dog sits with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a working dog. So he sits with us. Because generally I think it's like, they can't sit with you if they're like over 25 pounds or something. But you don't want to put a pet underneath unless you absolutely have to. It's really fucked up.
Is it?
They put it with all the
so yeah.
They like die.
What do they do? Like I don't.
They sit in a cage for however long the fucking flight is.
Oh my god.
And like my fiance sees it all the time. Like they drop the fucking animal off, like cats, whatever, dog, you know, and they drop them off. They get dropped off early prior to the flight, and then they're there and they have like a bag of food and like a thing of water, and it's just like in there. And then like there's no contact, and then they go under the plane, and it's really hard because like the pressure drops and like that the under the plane isn't the same like temperature usually. Like it's just traumatic and scary.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. But I mean, if you have to, you have to. But yeah, no.
Under what circumstances do you have to do that?
If you're flying, if you're like going to move to another country or something and you got to take your dog or like, you know, you're going to go somewhere and you don't, you know, you're transporting it or something. But JoJo's VIP. So he got a shout out on a plane one time. You know how they
Did he really?
Yeah. you know how the pilot's like, thank you for flying American Airlines, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And they're like, and our special passenger, JoJo. Like, thank you for choosing American. And we're just like, awesome. Like literally like the flight attendants will sit there and pet him and we're like, you know, we'll tell our flight attendants. It hasn't worked yet, but I'm working on it. I'm like, you know, because I'll flirt with anybody if it means like free alcohol or like getting to first class. And so I'm just like weekend at the female flight attendant. I was like, you know, JoJo says he would prefer first class. And she's like, I'm going to kick somebody out. And I'm like, do it. And she's like, oh, I wish I could. And I'm like, fuck.
Let us know when it works.
Do it for JoJo.
I'm trying. But JoJo demands first class. Yeah. I've gotten lucky and flown first class, but like it was like a fluke.
What do you mean?
Like they'll offer you sometimes. So like when I've flown by myself, I've flown. Me and my fiance one time flew first class on accident. I didn't realize I booked it. And it was so funny because it was like the second half of our flight. And I'm usually like in the last boarding thing. Like they don't even have room for my like carry on. Like I got to send it. And then they were like first group. And I was like, this is weird. And then we sat down and I was like, wait, are you sure? Like this is really us? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, we sat down. And they give you champagne. And we're like, oh, we're so fancy.
What is it like? What is it like being in first class?
You get fucked up.
Really?
Yeah. But when me and my fiance went on it, we were like, oh, they give you champagne. You get like free food and like whatever. And it's like warm, good food and like warm towels. And we're like, oh, this is awesome. The chairs are bigger and they recline. And me and him are like, we're going to take advantage. We're going to get wasted. And we woke up like at the end and had a couple drinks. But I've flown first class because if you're flying by yourself, sometimes if they're just trying to fill the seat, they'll send you like, hey, it's going to, like, if you want to upgrade, it's like $150. Yeah. So like I've done that. And like one time, and it works out because you get to like check 2 75-pound bags for free. Wow. So just that price difference and like it's worth it. And my fiance was in Alabama for training. So like I just, I was bringing back his stuff anyways. So like I was sitting next to this old lady and we just got fucked up. Like it got to the point to where the stewardess was like, so we're out of Jack Daniels now? And me and this like 70-year-old lady, like head to toe, like plastic surgery are just like, you know, like getting wasted and just like, just talking.
And this was on the way to Alabama?
On the way back from Alabama by myself.
On the way back.
Yeah. And we just got like drunk. It was so funny. And she was just down with whiskey. And I was like, you're like my soulmate. I want to be you when I grow up. But she was telling me her and her husband during COVID were bored and they were just flying places.
Really?
Because it was really cheap. So they would just fly places and they'd get drunk and get on planes and just fly places and then stay somewhere for the night and then turn around and just fly back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they were just obviously financially comfortable and bored. So she had a shit ton of miles that way. So she's like, yeah, now I just always fly first class. And I was like, I want to be you.
Damn.
I know.
I got to try that. Amber, we got to try first class.
One day.
I feel like a peasant now.
Hey, we do what we can.
I'm not like, I won't ever pay because it's like fucking crazy expensive.
I don't know how much it is.
It's like thousands of dollars sometimes.
Thousands of dollars.
It's so stupid. I see that price and I'm just like, oh, no.
But is it worth it?
Not for $2,000.
It's $2,000?
And that's just like flying somewhere here.
That's like flying to Florida or like Puerto Rico.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because when I went to Dubai on Emirates, first class is like $10,000 for a little cabin, which is upstairs, but it gives you like your own little room. You get to shower. They give you like caviar and it's $10,000 for one seat. That's ridiculous.
That's a lot of money. That's like my whole like vacation. Like that's more than the vacation probably even cost. That's dope. You went to Dubai?
I did.
That's fucking awesome.
I did. I've traveled a little bit.
Where's your favorite place?
So far out of the country or in the States? Or doesn't matter.
All, yeah. Get fancy.
No. So far, it's probably been Japan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we just went to Japan.
Japan was awesome.
Really? Yeah. I'm jealous. So I've been to first class, but I have not been to Japan. So I think you guys way one up me. I would trade the one for the first class for Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fucking dope. How long were you guys there for?
10 days.
Wow. Was it long enough?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That's so fucking dope.
No, there's just like so many things to see and do and shows and food and you'll probably never be.
Well, and their technology like is crazy, right? Like just the dated normal stuff, like mundane shit, right?
Yeah.
Like even going to the bathroom there is different, right?
I love the bidets.
Yeah. And then they have like a spray, right? Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a spray, like water to go up your butt. Yeah.
No. I mean, like air freshener, that too, but an air freshener.
I was excited about the water in the butt.
You know, they have that places here too, right? You could buy one.
I know.
Alexa, can you add that to his Amazon wish list?
No, but they did. Don't you remember they had a button and it said freshener?
Yeah.
And that was to like deodorize. And then there's like one that like masks, like if you're like, you know, like farting or making a lot of noise.
It's like super. Yeah, it's like super like the restrooms over there. I'm going to reiterate this. My MB fans are probably just, dude, you always say this, but I'm saying it because the privacy over there is just like there was actual privacy when you're using the restroom. Like it was amazing. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like I was super happy. Like nobody heard me.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, nobody heard me.
I'm gonna drop it.
I was able to exactly. I was able to be myself for 10 minutes.
You just look very happy right now.
Yeah,
you're so feliz.
It was amazing.
The amount of joy. That's the happiest I've seen you. That is like the happiest I've seen you in the last hour.
But I mean, it was that, and then I think just out of the 10 days, it was the restroom thing. Like, I
want to go to China just to take a poop now.
Yeah.
Or Japan. I'm sorry.
Japan.
Because China, I've been to China, and it is not that. It is the opposite.
That's what I heard.
Like a hole, right?
It is a porcelain hole in the floor.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So like I went to China on like a 2-week tour, and like a lot of people on the tour were like older, and they can't squat. You know what I mean? Like, so every time there was like a Western bathroom, they would like announce it and everyone would go running.
Ooh.
But I mean, yeah, it was just a different, experience.
I could never squat. I'd probably piss on myself.
I mean, that's part of the fun. Like you may or may not pee on your leg.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm pretty like, I'm that girl that pees on the side of the freeway. So I mean, like,
I wonder what the percentage is of somebody like actually like almost falling into it.
Oh, it's not big.
Can you Google that?
Yeah.
How many people fall into the porcelain hole?
When I went to Dubai,
So it's a literal hole?
Yeah, it's like a hole.
It's a literal hole, and it's supposed. They say it's like a more natural. I don't know.
Because they're saying that squatting is like the natural way of you.
That's why they have those
squatty potties.
Those squatty things, right?
I don't know. Maybe I'm lazy and I just want to sit
it's
down.
it's like these. Maybe we can look that up after. But it's like this like contraption that you put your.
There you go. See?
Yeah,
there we go.
There's a flusher too.
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally like
those are in China.
Yeah.
This is where they squat.
It's
I would just stand there and poop. Hope it makes it down.
And trust me, some people have
I feel like
horrible aim.
If you have diarrhea, this is not the toilet to go to.
90%, 95% of my fecal matter is water.
Can I?
I would never survive in this.
Am I allowed to just pour? Oh yeah, I don't know. Do you want some more too?
Oh sure. I will never survive this.
When I went to Dubai, one of my first times going to the restroom, like in public.
Thank you.
I was peeing and I was like sitting there, and then all of a sudden I hear like, shh. I'm like, okay, and then I see water like on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So over there they have, instead of like a bidet, like pointing towards your butt, they have like a little shower head. So the women, because they wear like the abayas, and it's really hot out there, so they're sweaty and stuff like that. So they literally wash with like a shower head. Every toilet stall has it.
Oh, because they can't take it off in public.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So then they're like, they're still being hygienic, but they're like getting a shower head and like rinsing like their butt and vagina.
Because it's
where the hell is this water
it's
coming
musky.
from?
Yeah. That sucks. That's I'm not that way. I'm like,
but every culture has its restroom.
Yeah, it's different. Well, and but
definitely,
I don't know.
It's a literal. I'm.
That's some shit, literally.
Yeah, it's a porcelain hole. I thought that was an analogy.
No,
when you told me
it is literally. You have learned so much today.
That's why I do this.
Yeah, you learned about.
That's why I do this.
About bathrooms in China, about pool. Now you can go and be like, bro, that's ball in hand.
What is that?
No, we don't need. That's fine.
I'm like, oh.
No, I think that's just the tile.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
just looks old. Yeah, this doesn't look fun.
No.
No. Japan all the way, 100%.
China's not on my list.
So we're going. Yeah. I mean,
We're going to Japan to use the toilets.
I know.
That's what we're doing.
You're like, can we take a train or a quick hop to Japan to go to the bathroom real quick? But I mean, China, like you got to see the Great Wall. It's kind of like one of those things.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know, like it's cool, but it's crazy because there's a ton of graffiti on it.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So you can't actually walk the majority of it. You can like, because a lot of it's like falling apart and just not safe. And like, I'm assuming there's certain parts that they just want to keep nice. But the tourist areas you go to, it's literally like people when Sharpies wrote like so-and-so was here.
What?
Yeah.
And they allow people to do that?
I mean, you're not allowed to, but I mean, how are you going to stop somebody?
Yeah. What you and Amber, you're telling me about the what pyramid that people aren't able to walk
Chichen
through?
Itza?
Yeah.
They're not allowed to anymore.
Yeah,
No.
because people were taking like pieces of it.
Well, and it's just the wear and
chipping away,
tear.
yeah.
Have you been there? Have you
No,
seen that?
I haven't. My fiance has, but
Yeah.
I haven't been. I
It's
haven't.
amazing.
Yeah, I haven't been to inland Mexico. I've only been on the coast. Have you? You've been, right?
Yeah, I
That's
have.
so dope. I'm jealous.
Amber's been everywhere.
I know. We're just living our best life. You should have told that lady. Don't feel bad for me.
What are you talking
It's like, bitch, I'm going to Japan.
Well, there's a. I
I'm
don't,
like, I'm just doing hot yoga. What are you talking about?
yeah, I feel bad for you for doing hot yoga. No, well, like there's that. Like you were asking earlier, like how do you guys watch The Sopranos? But there's like there's a lady that only has. She's a Russian lady, and she's like Russian and like tiff, like it's really tough and stuff. And she only has one leg, and you know Tony Soprano's telling her, you know, you're so blah blah blah. Like basically what you're saying, you know, you're so blah. And she's like, people like me exist so people like you can feel better about themselves. And it was just like, and she told him that because he's like a hardcore narcissist. Best show ever. I don't know if you've seen it. Oh, you haven't?
No.
Sopranos, in my opinion.
Put on the list.
Put on the
Amber.
list. Sopranos.
It's like what? Like
Sopranos.
10 seasons?
No, it's like 5.
Oh, I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, 5, maybe 6.
My toxic trait is that I can't watch like a series and I have to binge. Like I have to.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
I
He
have
stays
to.
up and then
Like I will stay up for literal days.
Yeah.
Like I did that with Breaking Bad. I
Yeah.
did that with Dexter.
Dexter's a shit.
And now I'm going to do that with The Sopranos.
You have to. And you're going to see it and you're going to be like, because Sopranos, the reason Breaking Bad and Dexter even exist is because of the Sopranos. Because Sopranos was like the first show where like there could be naked people. They could say the word fuck on TV because it was network television. Before that, it was all like CBS and Fox and NBC. So it was like this first big show, and it was the writing on it, and it's a dark comedy, like the shit they do, and there's the writing and the analogy, and it's like to watch that show 20 years later. I think it's like a 25-year anniversary almost, or it did already pass, but like it's just fucking like it's the fact that it's still relevant and good like says a lot. But Dexter was a shit, but like I don't know, Breaking Bad, like with shows like that and Sons of Anarchy, don't get me wrong, I watched it and I loved it, but like those people would have died like way sooner like in real life.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like it's like I don't know, you have to like step away and be like, okay, this is television.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Sopranos is like real.
Is
like I don't know. I've never personally been in the mafia, but I feel like that's what it'd be. You know, I'm not Italian. They wouldn't take me. They tried.
That's funny.
Yeah, we got to get that on the list, dude. Fuck.
What else is on the list?
We have that. We have Chinatown with Jack
He's
Nicholson.
one of my favorites.
What other ones?
Purple.
The Color Purple. I've seen that, but like years ago.
Get tissue ready for Color Purple.
Yeah. What else do we have on that,
We had
Amber?
Citizen Kane, but we couldn't watch it.
Dude,
I love old movies
Rosebud?
and I couldn't. I don't know.
everybody says that's like I posted about that on my story, and everybody's like, oh, good movie, like awesome. I took pictures of like the pizza that we had that night, and then plus the movie that we're gonna watch, and this is a snooze fest. Like we got through like 50 minutes of it, maybe even 50 minutes of it, like maybe 20-30 minutes we were on the phone the whole time. but I couldn't, like, we couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
So what are your top 5 movies in no particular order? And when I say top, I don't mean like best. I like best movie I've ever seen. Because like there's some outstanding movies I've seen, but I don't rewatch them. You know what I mean? Like those movies that like you will continuously watch over and over again, and every time it's on, you fucking stop and watch it.
Okay, The Fly is one.
Oh, that's dope. The original or the Jeff Goldblum?
No, Jeff Goldblum.
That's dope.
The Fly. Let's see what else. Office Space is my personal favorite. Mike Judge, the creator of
Do you break your computer?
King of the Hill. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, you know the reference.
Yeah.
What else, Amber?
Trying to think.
Stop enabling him. Let him think for himself.
I know, like he doesn't know how to.
Not only she runs the podcast, but she also runs my entire life.
You're like, I want pizza. No, you don't. You want a cheeseburger.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not by choice, okay?
Yeah.
Latino men. I know. Trust me, my fiance. I'm trying to cut the biblical cord, but it's hard. Sometimes, like when I go to eat, I won't even like. He'll be like, "What do you order?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna tell you." And he's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because you need to make your own decisions." and he's like, "That's fucked up." And I was like, but other times I'm like fat and I want like 5 things, and I'm like, "I'm ordering fries." Okay, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No.
Office Space, The Fly.
It's rarely that people ask me questions.
The Fly, Office Space, and then go.
The Fly, Office Space. Pulp Fiction. I think I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino
That's your favorite Quentin,
fan.
though?
Yeah, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and then the Hateful Eight.
That's dope.
Yeah, he has a really good book out called Cinema Speculation. Fucking amazing.
I've heard good things. Did you see him on Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I seen him on Joe Rogan. I watched that episode. He was on the Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. And then he was also on Howard Stern, too, promoting his book. Awesome.
He's just insane. He's so like eccentric and smart.
Yeah, he has one more movie.
Yeah.
One more movie that he's going to do.
But he said it could be 2 parts.
Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm. He said it could be a 2-part. Because like, you know how like he considers Kill Bill one movie.
Oh, that's true.
So that's what I'm saying. Like he has one more like story, basically.
That's right.
Like,
I wonder what it's going to be. What were your thoughts on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
The ending I found very bittersweet
because
like that's not what really happened.
Yeah,
and like it happened, and like you're
same thing too with Inglourious Bastards. I mean, he wrote like a different timeline of history,
right? But I think like it was sad because like I can't say this without sounding like an asshole. But like
I get that all the time.
Yeah. So but like with it was just sad because she was so brutally murdered and like what happened to her, and then like she's so lovely, and like when you see that scene coming, like I kind of got like anxious, and I was like, fuck, dude, what are they, like, you kind of like, what are they gonna show, like how detailed are they gonna get? And then it happened, and it's like fucking hilarious, and Brad Pitt's like he's like no, something stupider than that, like about the guy's name, and that was what's his name, Butler from Elvis, so the guy who played Tex, and I don't know, like I really really liked it, but like I said, like the ending was just like I left feeling the theater like really weird. Oh, okay. Like really like sad, like kind of sad, like not intentionally, because it was a fantastic film, but just like that didn't happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you felt like you almost feel like bad, like it's the way it should have ended. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How much are you into like the whole Charles Manson family thing?
I'm not like heavily into it. No. Like I mean, I know about it, but like there's actually a really good movie on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but it's about the Manson girls, and it's like from their perspective, and it really taps into like the abuse they endured, and like it's like. Do
you remember what it's called?
I can't remember.
Can you look that up?
Yeah, it came out recently.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's solely from their perspective. So like it doesn't even like he's in it, but he's in like flashbacks. Yeah. So it's about I guess when they were in prison, the 3 girls got arrested. When they were in prison, like there was a girl who went to like teach them or like, you know, educate them or do something with them. And it was
it's this one, right? Manson
Lost
Girls?
The Last of the Manson Girls? Manson's Lost Girls, maybe?
Fuck. I think it's that one. Go down more. That one. the how's the Manson girls? Harry Nelson tells the Manson girls. I think it's above it, the one above it where he's like in a blue shirt. I think it's that one. I believe so.
Oh, Charlie Says.
Manson girls. Charlie Says. I think it was that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Charlie Says.
I think so. Yeah. I think that's it. But it's like really sad because it takes from like their, it really goes into like their perspective. So you can really like, not to like empathize, like obviously these women deserve to be in jail and stuff like that. But like it really taps into like the psychology of like abuse and Stockholm syndrome and like what they went through and like how severe the abuse was. And like, it's just a, you know, no one, like no one can ever justify what they did. And obviously it was a tragedy and it was horrible, but like, it's just, there's a lot more to it, and like the psychology of being in cults,
right? And
like the fucked up shit they go through and they deal with and everything.
During the pandemic, I think it came out in 2020, I believe. But Tom O'Neill came out with this great fucking book called Chaos, and it's all about the untold truth of the Manson murders and how heavily Charles Manson was in with the FBI, with the CIA back in the 1960s.
Like he was like help, like what do you
there we go. There it is.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
So basically it was Tom O'Neill was
because Joe Rogan, I heard Joe Rogan talk about it, I think.
Yeah. He had Tom O'Neill on the and I want to say that I didn't watch Joe Rogan's podcast before this came out. When I seen this on where did I see? I was like Googling shit because I was like super heavily into the 60s. Like I did like extensive.
Have you
fucking
seen Mad
reading.
Men?
Yes.
It's fucking sick.
Oh, that's another show that I fucking binged. Dude.
That's like insane. That's like it's so fucking good.
One of my favorite shows.
Oh, if you ask me, John Hamm is like in that show. He's just, but they're so on point
with the entire
period,
time.
with the period, like just how accurate everything is.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
I'm sorry, I cut you off, but go.
No, it's all good. No, great fucking thing. I totally forgot about Matt. That was another.
But that's a series.
That was another series that I binged too. Yeah. Right.
Those are easier. Like Sopranos, the same way. Like it's easier to binge them when they're only like 10 episodes. Mm-hmm. It's not like these other shows like Grey's Anatomy where there's like fucking 40 episodes a season. And
or like Sex in the City or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I really like Sex.
I like Sex in the
Is
City.
it Sex and the City or Sex in the City?
Sex
Do you know
in.
that?
They have the sex in the city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Not they're having sex and they're
So back to Chaos. Fucking amazing. So this book is the exact it reports the exact opposite of what came out in Helter Skelter, which was the book by
that's like the most famous one.
Yeah, but it's written by the actual the leader of the leading attorney of the prosecution of Charles Manson.
So they're saying it's like a conspiracy?
From what's coming out of Chaos, yeah.
Because he was there looking for the Beach Boys, right? The guy that, I forget what the name of the guy that owned the house they were staying at from the Beach Boys. I forget his name, but
that was Dennis. We got to look this up. But he's dang. Why is this fucking whiskey, dude? His name is.
No one told you to bring peanut butter.
We need some jelly. No, look up. So do Beach Boys.
Who owned the Tate murder home?
Do that one. No, hold on, wait. Before wait. Do Beach Boys line up? Because from there, I'll get the drummer's name.
Was it the drummer?
Yeah.
Because he played with them, right? And he gave them a demo and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's they actually produced one of his songs.
Right.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me the other day.
Original members, yes. There we do. Dennis Wilson. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Wilson's brother. But they're in their album 2020.
Mm-hmm.
One of their songs was actually written by. Wasn't I playing this for you like a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, you were.
Right? I was like playing them like simultaneously. I was like, dude, like this is the actual songs that
It's
he
pretty
wrote.
wild.
Yeah.
Like even Hitler was an artist. There's a movie with John Cusack where it's about who was an aspiring artist. And that's why they say that like he was doing what he was doing because he was like pissed off because he was trying to be an actor and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why he was so charismatic.
Well, same with Charles Manson.
Cult, in order to be a cult leader, to get people, and you have to be charismatic.
Right.
And it's a trip. Well, fun fact, my first concert that I ever went to when I was like 5 or 6, because my parents are fucking dope.
Charles Manson.
Well, it was the Beach Boys, and unfortunately, Charles Manson couldn't make it. He wasn't.
Was it really? You seen the original?
I don't know if it was the original. I was 6. Don't ask me difficult questions. But it was like a balloon festival, and the Beach Boys were there. And then
Balloon festival?
it was like a balloon festival, somewhere, like with the hot air balloons.
Okay, yeah.
Where they like launch them, they go all up at the same time at night. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
And the Beach Boys were performing, and we saw it. And then my dad.
That's awesome.
I guess I was like 6 or 7, but I don't really consider it we were there for the balloon festival, and I feel like the Beach Boys happened to be there, and we saw it. But like my first real concert was the Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge tour, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers opened. So that was pretty cool.
Dang.
My parents are dope.
That's cool.
Yeah, my
Your
parents.
parents grew up here?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we're like 3rd generation East LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But my mom's dad was from Mexico, and then my dad's grandparents from Mexico. So we've been here for a long time. But my family's only had sex mostly with Mexicans, so we've stayed Mexican. So some of the cousins have veered outside the spectrum, but we'll forgive that.
Dennis Wilson was a wild guy. I think that's what, back to Charles Manson. I could talk about Charles Manson all day, but he was like super heavy, like into Hollywood.
Yeah.
And part of the Tom O'Neill's book, like he wrote like a quarter of it on how like Hollywood did not want anything to do, like after there was a tipping point pretty much from what Tom O'Neill was saying, was like he was super like he was very influential in Hollywood at the time.
Well, it was an old movie ranch that they took over. And they were doing hot like tours and stuff like that. So I mean, like I think they just kind of wanted to disassociate with themselves.
Yeah, I think that from there, because I was in like the summer of 1969, and then after that, like after this happened, like with the Manson murders, like the hippie era was just like, that's when it like fucking died. It died along with Sharon Tate and all the others.
I mean, it was just so fucked up what they did. And I mean, but then what's his name? Polanski. Then he got busted he can't come back to the U.S.
Really?
No, he's in Europe.
He's in Europe. He can't come back. He got busted for child.
Oh my God! Really?
Look it up. It's like he did naughty stuff with the little girl.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah,
right?
Roman Polanski. And it's unfortunate because I mean, Rosemary's Baby was outstanding, and it was a good movie.
Oh, that was on our list too, and we seen
Roman
it.
Polanski. That's great. That's a good movie. That's a great movie. But yeah, he can't.
What have you done to him?
I think they were trying to extradite him, but they couldn't. Or he was going to come back or something. It was in the news recently because I think they were trying to extradite him. Prosecutors could seek to charge Polanski. How long ago was that? Oh. Yeah, but he hasn't been able to come back for it's been like 40.
Dang, he's 88 years old in prison right now.
Is he in prison now?
That's what it said.
Oh yeah, he's back in prison now. But yeah, he would plead to unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor.
Whoa.
Cochino. These guys.
What have you done to him? What did you do to his eyes? I fucking love that.
I know, it's fucking good. But yeah, he did Ninth Gate too with Johnny Depp, and he had some.
Which one?
Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp.
Ninth Gate.
It's like a good old fashioned devil movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good old fashioned devil movie.
I love horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Sharknado?
No, you consider that a horror movie?
Okay, like a killer shark movie. Okay, if you go to Shudder and it'll have like killer animal movie. Yeah, Ninth Gate. He did that, and that's why he fell in love with South of France and ended up buying a house there.
Dang.
And he has like a villa or some shit. But yeah, no, Sharknado is like, I mean, it has a category. If you go on Shudder and you look up, but see, like movies like Sharknado are fucking hilarious. Like a shark lands out of a tornado and lands on somebody and eats them, or like flies through the air and grabs people by their bodies. It's a fucking.
I feel like you're not our first guest to mention Sharknado.
You just, yeah, I'm
This is the mind buzz, dude.
Clearly, you guys have people here with good taste. But I feel like movies like that are so shitty that you're gonna watch it.
Sharknado 6. How many Sharknados are there?
I don't know. It's got the first. I've only seen one because I don't want to ruin it for myself because one was just such a classic hit. But I mean, like, yeah, look at that. Look at that one.
What is that? Sharknado in space?
Fuck yeah! He's gonna eat what's Elon Musk's car.
Jesus.
No, yeah, it's like fucking awesome. But Ian Ziering was in the or Ian, is it Ian or Ian Ziering from 90210 was in the first one. That alone is reason to watch it. Come on. Who didn't love 90210? Yeah, no. It's like because I love Highlander, it's like one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
And have you ever seen Talladega Nights?
Yes.
Got the Academy Award for the best movie ever made.
Yeah.
My friend was like, tell me something interesting about yourself. And I was like, I fucking love Highlander. And they're like, really? I was like, that's how I live my life. Well, fun fact, Highlander, every song in the film, including the songs on the radio, are by Queen.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Rewatch it.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's fucking...
It's been years since I watched that movie.
There can only be one. It's fucking great. That's a car.
You got the car.
Like, what the
Don't buy the car.
So all of them, all the score in the movie is...
I don't know about the score, but I know for sure the soundtrack. Every song on the soundtrack. I believe it's a score, but don't quote me on that. And I don't want to say that in case someone hears this and then they're like, she was wrong.
Oh, they will. We'll hear something in the comments.
This girl's dumb. Like,
No.
It's like, you know, those trolls, like, I'll like, it'll be funny because like I send an email newsletter, right? And then like the moment I put like one typo, like I'll get an email response from like someone who like hasn't vended or come to my event in like I don't know, a decade, literally. And they'll be like, this is really confusing. That date doesn't add up. That date's a Sunday and you said Saturday. And I'll just respond. I'll be like, thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. I really appreciate your time. Have a great day. Because I'm like, how fucking bored are you? Well, that's why I tell like my favorite passive aggressive response is, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that your panties are wound up that tight. Well, like... like the cancer sense of humor thing. One of my girlfriends, you know, I joke about it a lot. And one of my girlfriends, her boyfriend, his mom died of cancer. And like, I'm sorry, like that sucks, right? But like, I guess like he didn't find my humor funny. He found it offensive and he was very upset by it. And I was just like, but you haven't had cancer. So like, if this is how I deal and how I handle it, like that's my coping mechanism, then don't like, so I mean, out of respect for him, I didn't make any jokes in front of him anymore. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, "Wow, you're a little bitch." But like, but I mean, I'm still gonna be like respectful. You know what I mean? But I mean, like, I'm like, whatever.
But he was offended because you were joking about
my cancer.
About yours.
He was offended because I was joking about my cancer.
Oh, okay. But where like I'm confused. Like, where does it become like your cancer versus like anybody else's cancer?
It's my experience, and I think anyone has the right to joke about
their experience.
Yeah, I wasn't like making like jokes about his mom.
Oh, okay.
Because his mom had died of cancer, so that's he was like, and I get it. Like my dad had cancer too, but like I mean, it's still my, you know, like my niece fell off a horse, and she's gonna hear me say this. And my niece fell off a horse, and she like fractured her skull, and it was really really bad. Like there was like a 24-hour period. It was like really scary.
Gotcha.
And me and my brother, because we both have the most fucked up sense of humor, we both said, well, you know, she wasn't that smart to begin with, so I mean, no one's gonna notice that there's any brain damage. Thank God, my beautiful niece is okay. But like that's just how we joke. Like we joke, and that's how I was raised. And I guess I get that not everyone has that sense of humor, but. You know, I mean, it's a free world. I should still be able to say it.
So how do you feel about like comics like making cancer joke or like doing cancer like
it's hilarious. It's funny. I mean, I'm not like I said, I will literally sit at a bar and talk to someone for like 15 minutes and be like, do you want to see my boob? It's so cool. It's a frankentit. Like I call my boob a frankentit. Like, but I feel like people just have gotten like they've lost the ability to laugh.
Right.
And it's just like, and at the end of the day, like I'm really big on free speech. Like I think free speech is like just something important. And like I have friends that like, you know, I'm pretty liberal and like I have friends that are super conservative. And at the end of the day, we can sit down and talk shit to each other and have a conversation and still go cheers after.
Oh, yeah.
And have a drink.
I think that's true friendship when you have two people with totally different ideas and you guys can sit down, talk about them, but still be friends at the end of the day.
Right. Like, so like I have a friend who's like a hardcore anti-vaxxer. And this was before it was cool. So like pre-COVID. And because now it's like a whole nother thing. Like I'm like, okay, well, are you anti?
It's a religion now.
Well, now I'm like, well, there's a difference between being anti the COVID vaccine and being an anti-vaxxer. Because some people are just anti the COVID vaccine and not necessarily anti like regular.
So she was like anti like vaccine like her children to go to school.
She was like hardcore.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, like, so I'm out of curiosity, like, why? Like, and I wasn't like coming from a place of aggression or anything. I was just like curious because I like to hear why people think different ways, right? Like, and obviously you're the same way because you have this podcast.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't have this podcast if you weren't interested in what people think. And so like, and she's like, well, I choose not to talk to it with people that don't agree with me on it. And I was like, well, how convenient to only talk to people that agree with you 100%. Like, how are you even going to bounce off any ideas?
Yeah, like how are you going to refute what you're thinking? Right?
Yeah. Like it's convenient. Like you don't want any resistance. You don't want any outside thought. You just want to only talk to people that agree with you, which is
Why do you think that is?
Because it's easy.
Easy?
It's lazy.
Lazy?
I think it's lazy. I think like...
Or they don't have like a good enough explanation in what they really what they believe. Like there's no clear I don't know, clear reason to believe in what they believe.
Yeah, I think that, and I think also I think some people just don't like confrontation.
True.
Because I can be aggressive, so like I feel like certain people will just like say okay just because they don't want to talk about it anymore.
Right.
So like I get that, but like so I try to like back up like on certain, like if I feel like if I'm being too, like sometimes I can be like a bit much, like I get that about myself, so like I'll kind of like if I feel like the person's getting intimidated, then I'll kind of back up because I don't want them to feel like they can't talk to me. But sometimes, I mean, it depends what they're saying, because like there's certain topics that I'm just kind of like, let's just not, like the global warming thing. Like I have some friends that are just don't believe in science, and so like we'll start talking about global warming, and like we were talking about it, and like whenever anything comes up about the environment, my first question is, do you believe in global warming? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then we're not even going to talk about it, because there's no point,
right?
Like there's just no point. And then my friend was like, yeah, I do. And then she was talking about stuff. And then like 15 minutes in the conversation, I was like, but so you don't believe in global warming? And she's like, well, and I go, no. I asked you at the beginning, you just wasted 15 minutes of my life. Just like, and then my friend's like a hardcore conspiracy, like conservative person. But like, so we have a rule when he sends, we have a group chat. So he'll send videos.
I have a few people. I know a few of those kinds of people.
So my rule is when he sends us videos in the thread, I will only watch it if the person in the video has at least half their teeth. Half.
16 and a half. Or is that half?
How many
32?
teeth do you have? How many teeth?
There's 32.
So
They're supposed to be 32.
So greater than 16. Alligator facing that way. You know when you're little in your math class? That's my rule. And I think that's fair.
That's a fair rule.
They have to have half their teeth.
I'm going to take that. into consideration.
I will watch the video.
How much of flat Earth do you believe in?
What, flat Earth?
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in the flat Earth theory?
I don't care.
You don't care enough to...
I don't care enough.
What?
Do you think space is like stage 9 on Paramount? At Paramount?
Absolutely not.
Okay. No, I don't know. I mean, I think there's space. I think it's naive to think that we're the only creatures here. Like, I think that's just not, it's not, I don't feel like scientifically it's possible. Like, I think it's just egocentric, and unless we're like not really here and it's like the Matrix or something. But like, I mean, I think there has to be, but I don't also.
Amber's a huge flat earther.
Are you a flat earther?
Fuck no.
I thought we were friends.
No.
Don't talk to me about global warming.
I'm probably more liberal than he is.
I'm just, no, like, but my aunt used to make that joke.
But hold on, but what does believing in flat earth have to do with being liberal or conservative? I think that's where, like,
because she's saying liberals are smart.
Because if you believe the earth is fucking flat, it's stupid.
But there can be flat earther, there can be liberals that believe in flat earth.
I don't think so, because I think if you're saying that
I'll find you one.
No.
We're going to find one, and we're going to bring him on the
Let
podcast.
me say it. Because if you're saying that the earth isn't flat,
I'm not
isn't
I'm not a
round.
I'm not a flat earther, by the way.
Wait, if you're saying that the Earth isn't round, which is scientifically proven, and there's like hundreds and millions of studies, then you have to not believe in science or in that theory, right?
Well, like I was talking to a bartender and he was telling me, and he was like, I guess he was like, this guy's like, I forget what he went to. What school did, whatever school Obama went to, he went to the same school. I think it was Columbia. And he was a rather intelligent guy. He speaks like 10 languages. He was a teacher, but just likes bartend and drink alcohol. So he does it on the side. And he said that like something like 1 in 4 people believe that there's hybrids. Or something like that. And then, or something along that lines, I'm paraphrasing. And then, so he's at the bar and he's talking about it. And he goes, 1 in 4 people? That's insane. And it's him and 3 customers. And he starts talking about it. And one of the customers like, yeah, hybrids, they're totally real. And he goes, that's 1 in 4. But I mean, there's some people that just have some really wild beliefs. And I think like they don't want to talk about it out loud because like you said, they only want to talk to other people that believe in it. But I mean, I've worked with government agencies like on several occasions, like to organize events and stuff. And low key, they're not that smart.
Really?
And like, well, we outsource for everything. It's like, for example, like the company my husband works for, like it's an outsource, like he doesn't work for the government. He's a company that's contracted in for the government.
Right.
And everything we do is contracted in. So like we don't do 90% of the things ourselves. We contract other people that are smarter and have more money and technology. The US pays the most. Like,
that is wild.
So I mean, we don't like TSA does the regulating, but like for what my husband does, like it's not a government company. I mean, they're TSA regulated, but it's a company that is contracted in.
Is there like a plan in place, like if you know this about like UFOs and the TSA? Like, is there any like? Do they have any like?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like
if they found one, like if they like,
yeah.
Oh, you mean like the Twilight Zone where there's like the alien or the goblin on the plane, like the
sure.
You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen the Twilight
No, what is
Zone
it?
movie? There's
Wait, the movie? There's a
movie where the guy there's like he's like looking out the window and then there's like an alien, like a goblin alien guy on the window and he's like flipping out and having like a nervous breakdown. I think he's crazy, but he keeps looking out the window and there's like an alien out there.
And it's a movie from Twilight?
It's a Twilight Zone movie. It's called the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh,
I think it came out, I want to say the late 80s, early 90s. Don't quote me.
Okay.
Because I'm really careful because I know someone's going to comment on that bitch is stupid. The movie actually came out.
It was in the summer of 19...
Yeah, it was in January of 1990s, which is technically the 90s. People have so much time.
Probably. It'll come up.
Do you guys get trolls?
We get them all the time.
Are they?
We get them, and then they delete their comments after.
I mean, you know what I find funny is that like when people troll and they leave comments, but then they have a private account.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. No, this one had a public account, and I think for like a good couple of weeks they were commenting, deleting stuff, commenting, deleting. Like I would like their comment or whatever. I wouldn't engage in their comments, and then after that, I kind of just like stopped for a while.
Yeah, I'm like, we did a free giveaway we used to use anime, like we just partnered with this anime group called O Anime, and we would do like these anime events, and we would do like giveaways and shit. And then like someone complained about the giveaways we were giving.
What?
That they weren't like,
they were complaining about
it was a
you giving free stuff.
Giveaway. So I would like, it was like one of those things where like you have to like tag a friend and then like repost and put in your comment, whatever, and you get so many entries.
Oh, cool.
And like literally like if 40 people entered, like 30 of them would, like I would make it a point to where like at least if I had a lot of people do it, I would generally give out like 75% winners. It wasn't anything fancy. Each of them were getting like a $20 gift. So whether it was like earrings or a tote bag or a t-shirt, it was free shit. They didn't have to pay to enter. And someone commented like, oh, I wonder if this one will actually be anime related.
Jesus.
And I was like, well, I'm sorry that you didn't appreciate the free shit we gave you. And I like, so like when I first started, I couldn't, let me tell me when. But like when we first started, I couldn't do that. Like I couldn't like, be like, I had to like, I needed the money. I needed to cover everything. But now I've reached that level of like I'm successful enough to where I can tell people go fuck themselves. And like, it's really interesting when you tell people you don't want their money.
Let me know when that point where somebody can, like an entrepreneur can get to that point to where they can be like, go fuck yourself.
I say it a little bit nicer.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
not brass like that.
No,
but.
I have so there have been people to where there was one vendor where he had a foot thing.
Okay.
And it was really bad. And it was to the point to where he was
his product was a foot thing?
No,
or?
he had a foot fetish.
Oh. A vendor had a foot
fetish? He had a foot fetish.
What was his business? Don't tell me shoes.
No, he sold jewelry.
Okay.
Him and his wife sold jewelry. But he didn't exist.
Ankle bracelets? Okay,
no,
I'm done with foot
necklaces.
jokes.
Necklaces. So, but he was creepy. So
toe rings.
He didn't exist.
Okay, go.
No. He was weird. So he, and okay, this is what I tell people. I'm weird and my artist and craft, you work with art, we're weird.
Yeah.
So if we think someone's fucking weird, they're fucking really weird. They're fucked up,
If Jesse comes to me and says, hey, that guy is weird or that person is weird, I'm going to believe him.
No, you're going to be fuck, dude. I don't want to get near them, right? Legit, right?
Yeah.
So the guy, it got to the point where people were signing up. So one of the vendors, her mom was a cop. So she tried looking him up and he didn't exist. His wife existed, but he didn't. So I think he wasn't using and everything they did was under her name. So we're low-key thinking he was a sexual predator or something and got Megan's Law. But it was to the point to where when they sign up, there's additional comments. People were saying please don't put me next to blah, blah, blah. And so I was joking because I have this guy that sells religious stuff. And then I have this big monster, big buff workout guy that was selling monster stuff. So I would put him between the two of them because I could not put them next to women. I could not put them next to children. But whatever. So finally got to the point where they were getting bad and had a complaint. And I was down in I was doing another event in San Diego. They were at my event in Riverside. And literally I called them and I was you guys need to calm down. I'm getting complaints you guys are being weird. And then they're just and then they start yelling at me on the phone. And I was they had already been talked to several times. I was literally to the point I told him, you cannot talk to my female vendors. You are making people uncomfortable.
Wow.
You need to and he did the typical Harvey Weinstein switch where he was well, you don't know what it's like to be a man. But the guy was 5'4" and had a limp.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very non-threatening. So I think people kind of felt
oh, he wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
He's just.
But look what Jeffrey Dahmer looked like. And so,
limp.
right, he's got a limp. I could foot swip him or something, right?
Yeah.
And so, and so, so he called me. He's you know what? And I was you know what? Pack your fucking shit and get the fuck out of my event. I'm fucking tired with this. And I told him straight out. So I literally had, and so he I don't know, they didn't think I was serious. And they were running around with their arms. So I had my employee, I called her and I told her what was going on. I called my leasing rep and I was this is what happens. I have to A6 this guy for this reason, blah, blah, blah. And so we notified security and they came. So my employee went up to him. I wrote because I was at another event. So I was are you feel comfortable doing this? She's yeah. So my other employee's videotaping it. And he's this and he's stomping her.
God.
It was hilarious. And security is just and then, and then they called me and they were texting me and they're you're they're calling me these names and I was fuck you, stay the fuck away from me, don't ever fucking contact me again. And then I have a guy who does my social media stuff, so I guess he liked a comment or something they said on another person's post to try to gain followers because I don't have a machine do it, I have an actual person do it, so it's more organic. But and they sent me they text messaged me at 4:30 in the morning, this was 6 or 7 months later. And they were who do you think you are? Liking our comment, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just go fuck yourself. I literally was go fuck yourself. Don't ever fucking contact me. And they're is that language necessary? And I was absolutely. I will get a fucking restraining order. Do you not understand? It is not okay, you crazy people, to be fucking texting me at 4:30 in the morning. And then and I was literally, this is what I text them. And then they were just oh, they just didn't respond. But they've gone around lying. They're selling at other places and they lie and say they just moved here from New York. When I have known them for 7 years.
Damn.
So they'll get into another location and then they'll sell there. And then when it gets weird, they'll move to another one. So this isn't not the first time.
So there's a pattern.
Yeah, he's fucking weird. Literally he'll look at girls with open-toed shoes and be you have a really nice fade. And just stare and be weird.
Dang.
It's fucking weird. Yeah. But that was probably one of the few times. And I had someone push me one time. So that got interesting. But I have an inner chola that lives inside me, so I had to put her to sleep because if not, she'll come out. But I had a vendor literally put their hands on me. So that was I had to call security because I can't do anything. Because do you feel tough? She literally got me and pushed me off for stuff because I was moving it. And then she like started, and like I have a video, and she's like yelling at me, and I'm sitting there like this videotaping it, and there's like her hands are in the air, and I was like, but other than that, I'm trying to think like I had a federal marshal show up and arrest one of my vendors one time.
A federal marshal?
Yeah.
How do they even find them?
So she obviously was doing, I'm guessing, some sort of like white collar crime. So we were doing an event downtown, and the event started at 10, and I'm guessing that she was putting it on her social media or something. Mm-hmm. And they were probably looking for her. And the event started at 10, and like at 10:05, 2 plainclothes officers, and they have their badge and their guns on their hips, and they're plainclothes. They walk directly up to her. They got her, and they pull everything. And I kind of walk up. I'm like, hey, this is my event. Like, what's going on? And they're like, please stand back. And I was like, okay. They're like, we're taking her in right now. And I was like, well, and her friend that was with her, I just stepped out. And I was like, well, her friend just stepped out. Like, she has all her stuff here. Like, what am I supposed to do? And they're like, we're arraigning her at 11:30, and then we're flying her back to DC at 1. So that's like white collar though.
Yeah.
That's not like I didn't pay my child support.
Yeah.
So that was pretty neat. That was a cool story. And I was like, what was she selling? Like illegal purses? And I was like, no, that's like serious. Like,
did you ever find out what she was doing?
So I cyber stalked her for like a week. And then like a week later, she posted something like, oh, too bad people can't ever like go of their past or something. She posted like something like really cryptic about like, I don't know.
About January 6th, probably.
Right. No, it was before that.
Oh.
Like those stupid
She was there climbing the walls at the insurrection in 2020, ladies and gentlemen.
Those interviews where people are like, my name is fucking Betty Sue Smith.
And I was not here, and
yeah. And I live at blah blah blah, and we're rushing the Capitol.
So
go ahead.
It was never. Wait, hold on. It was the Beach Boys song was their album 2020. Never Learn Not to Love. I think that's what it was.
That's cryptic.
That was the Charles Manson song.
It just came to you?
It just came to me right now.
At least I'm not the only one who's ADD.
2020. Yeah. No, yeah.
No, I'm all over the place.
What were we gonna say?
No, that's funny. No, but I was just saying, no, yeah, but that's cryptic because 2020 was when all that stuff happened.
Yeah. Never learn not to love.
COVID was wild.
Charles Manson. So it wasn't the insurrection that she was at?
No.
Okay.
It was, this was like 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of cool. I mean, but I can say people are like, what's the craziest thing that happened? And I'm like, oh, the federal marshal came in and arrested one of my vendors.
That's it?
We've had fights. It's pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, that's pretty like basic stuff like fights or people stealing or I had a Chola threaten to beat me up one time because she was stealing.
Oh, that's every day for me.
I mean, yeah, that was.
I work at a coffee shop, and that's like an everyday thing.
Oh,
for
that's
me.
cool.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Don't be burning my coffee shop like that.
Can you edit that out, please? Yeah. God, why do you keep putting that poor coffee shop on
I'm not. It was a joke. You like that was the
Are we doing one more? Or are we done?
That was a setup.
Are we doing one more? Or are we done?
Stephanie, thanks for stopping by.
I know. Is it that time? Stephanie from the Socal Etsy Guild. Check me out on Eventbrite or Facebook or our website. It was nice talking to you guys. Have a great day. I don't know what else to say.
How long do we have?
Probably 1 minute and 38 seconds.
There we go. Go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah. So check us out on Facebook, Instagram. Go to our website. We have events every weekend throughout Southern California. We do events in 5 different counties. This weekend we have Westfield Mission Valley. We have a store at the Shops in Mission Viejo. We're at the Outlets at Orange every Sunday. We also do the gallery at Tyler, 4th weekend. Northridge Fashion Center, 3rd weekend. Plaza Bonita, National City, 2nd weekend. Westfield Mission Valley, 1st Saturday. And we have more events we'll be adding. And that's our Instagram. She's showing.
Whoa, you do a lot.
Yeah, we have currently 6-7 host locations. We usually have, pre-COVID, we had about 15, 20.
Damn.
Yeah, that's this weekend.
Sweet. And all the links to what Stephanie just talked about are going to be down in the show description. And go check them out.
Do you still sell stuff from your Etsy?
Technically, no. My Etsy's closed, but I sell stuff at my store. But I don't know, my main focus is the events. But that's us. That's where you would sign up on our Eventbrite. SocalEtsyGuild.eventbrite.com. And then you would just go there and sign up right there. It's
sweet.
Super easy. Really.
All the links are down in the show descriptions.
I have 3.9 followers. I didn't know that.
Ooh,
I'm fancy.
dang.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thanks
Go
for showing.
follow.
I would have never known. That's the Eventbrite page. I know on Instagram we have a lot, but I was like, oh, I didn't know people followed me on Eventbrite.
Well, now you know.
I know.
Now you know.
They were doing reviews for a while and that didn't last.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.
And watching.
Bye. Have a good day.
The Mind Buzz. Peace and love. See you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Mind Buzz podcast. Subscribe to the Mind Buzz YouTube channel and watch full podcast episodes. Keep up with the hosts, guests, and upcoming events by following the Mind Buzz on Instagram @the Mind Buzz. See you on the next one.